Mother, man.
And this is David Thibodeau, and you're listening to Murder Metal Mayhem.
Spreading faster than a case of the clap in a trailer court. Able to shatter eardrums within a 666-mile radius. A podcast more brutal than all the rest. It's Murder Metal Mayhem!
Well, what the hell's up? What's going on, Chris?
What's up, Pete? What's going on, fuckers?
Fuck, man. It's Tuesday. We're doing that thing we do on Tuesday.
Yes, sir, we are. Yes, sir, we are. Got a long one tonight.
Yeah, we do, man. It's going to be a fucking good one, though. So much information really kind of unraveled as I started putting it together. Just realized that it needed to be said to tell the story correctly. So episode 80 tonight, hitting another milestone, man. Closing in on that elusive number 100.
100.
And based on my rough calculations, that'll be around May sometime that will hit the 100 mark.
On.
So we'll hit the 2-year mark
just after 2 years, yeah.
Right after in April, but we'll hit the 100th sometime in May because of bonus episodes. We don't number them.
Yeah, they're not numbered.
So that's why it works out that way.
They're just there for your entertainment.
That's right. That's right. Now, last week was a good one, man. We featured the Drifter Killer with more than 90 victims. Fucking Samuel Little, man. That was some brutal shit, dude.
He liked choking bitches.
He did.
he liked choking bitches.
He did. He was not a very nice guy.
No.
Like making it drag out, too, which is really sadistic. Got over 1,000 listens to that one so far, so definitely fucked up. Story if you're not familiar with him, claiming he's got the most confirmed victims so far at 60, just past the Green River Killer with body count. So
yeah, that's a lot of motherfuckers, especially that. I mean, he had a long time span doing it. So.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the Drifter Killer thing we've always said, that makes it tough to catch them.
Yeah, you never know where they're going to be. And
yeah, I mean, they could be anywhere. They got no address, no job. You
might have a clue, and then no, not there. Fuck
right.
it.
Yeah, they can disappear real easy. So definitely go do yourself a favor and check that one out. We had CK on talking about Motorhead, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Also, we had a couple of people notice, hey, CK sounded a lot better on the podcast last week.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Was funny because when I listened back, we mentioned it in the intro that he was going to do something different, but then we didn't explain what it was that he did different. Right. And I felt kind of dumb because I wondered if anybody listened and was like, what did he do
what's
different?
So fucking different?
So we'll talk about that a little bit with CK, but he's been using GarageBand to record himself. It's some software that podcasters use. We use Hindenburg, but he's using GarageBand that's more for Macs, and that's what CK's got. And so anyway, he's using software to record his voice on his end.
And then sending the file to us instead of recording it over the phone through Messenger and whatnot.
Right, yeah. And I'm still recording him just for reference purposes and a backup.
Just
in case something happens.
One of them fucking things.
Right, but we found that Messenger and Skype and some of these streaming type services, even with a good connection speed, are just sometimes, especially the time of night we're doing this, high traffic,
right,
and that they're unreliable. So doing it this way, recording him where he is, and then he sends me the track through Dropbox, and then I put it into the software we use, and
mix
voila,
it together, and boom,
it makes it sound better. So we hope that you guys dig it. We're trying to improve the show, and that's why when we mentioned the Patreon stuff and joining that 666 club, that can just help because we can, buy better microphones,
better quality
and just do shit, So check that out if you missed it, because we're going to keep tweaking things out. But episode 79 was definitely a good one. Now, tonight, Chris, we're doing a special one with a feature on the apocalyptic cult leader. We haven't done a cult leader yet. I'm kind of pumped about this one.
We haven't actually done
David
one yet,
Koresh,
have we? Holy shit.
man, who died at the siege of the Branch Davidian compound near Waco, Texas on April 19th, 1993. And not really sure what you guys know about him. I mean, depending on how old you are.
Right, age
You know, I mean, Chris, you would have been pretty young. You would have been a teenager.
Yeah, 93 would have made me...
Like 15?
14?
Yeah.
15?
So, you know, you would have been young, and so, you know, a lot of people at that age wouldn't be really paying attention to something like this,
Right.
you know. So I think it depends on age. And one of the reasons I thought Koresh was a good one to start with is because he isn't the one that, you know, the Jim Jones, you know, some of these, they're kind of the iconic ones, you know.
People look at Koresh and like, some people are like, who the
Yeah.
fuck's that guy?
Yeah, don't know much about him, but it's a very interesting story. And, you know, a very sad ending with 75 people, including 25 kids that died in that blaze at the end. Definitely fucked up. Now, we did an interview at the Dark History Convention with who, Chris?
With David Thibodeau, survivor, one of, was it 9 survivors?
Yeah, he was the last one, I think, to walk out of there
Right.
alive, hair on fire and everything.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Pretty fucked up. David was a really good dude and took the time out to sit with us.
Which was awesome.
It was very, very cool. And we got about 10 minutes of that discussion for you to play, so we'll put that in where appropriate. David also gave us a CD with some of David Koresh's music and some of his sermons on there. We'll play a little samples of that stuff too. We want to paint both sides of this story because there is some distinct differences and a little controversy between this. So
there's definitely that.
yeah.
There's
So-
definitely some controversy.
Yeah, and I think we're going to, tackle it the best way, which is kind of paint the picture, and you guys can, you know, think of it what you think, because not everybody's going to agree, I'm sure. Now, because of this, we're going to do the show a little bit different tonight. And instead of the usual Murder, Metal, and Mayhem segments, what we're going to do, because of the volume of material in the Koresh segment of the show for Murder, we're going to do Murder kind of twice as long. Plenty of mayhem in this story with all the explosions and fires.
Yeah, don't feel like there's any mayhem being left out.
No, but we're going to
Jesus
do
Christ.
them as one, and then we'll do metal after that, and then we'll do the outro. So it'll be a longer Murder segment with kind of Murder and Mayhem in
Kind
one.
of blended, yeah.
And then metal at the end, because we don't want to leave CK out. He's primed and ready to fucking rock.
Fuck yeah.
So we'll get CK in on this, but it'll be at the end of the Koresh segment, which is going to be longer. There's just a lot to cover. Also, I do have an interesting tie-in with this story because I was stationed at Fort Hood, Texas in the Army while this was going on. It's about an hour drive from the compound. So because we're not doing Mayhem, there won't be a cage match tonight. But, you know, I thought, Chris, we'd make it up to him next time. The end of year blowout BTK episode. We'll do like a fucking battle royale type shit and get a bunch of motherfuckers. And I think
Like a
I'm going
Hell
to
in
do
a
a couple
Cell.
of different variables
Nice.
that we'll do on the fly. And like I'll have you pick the numbers. And
Hell yeah.
the story will change with motherfuckers getting thrown on tables. And
Shit, yeah. Hell in the cell, baby.
that's right. So we could do something fun with that just to make up for missing one. But I think it's going to be a good episode. I just trying to focus on the story at hand, which is a little involved. And also, because we're doing something special, I thought even to go one step further, not do karaoke this episode. We're going to play something different in that spot, but it's not going to be one of my karaoke songs. I think you guys will dig it. So
Oh, it's definitely something original.
yeah, and
It's
it'll be
definitely-
appropriate
not
with
original
what we're
by
talking
us, but
about.
original.
Yeah,
Holy
an
shit.
original song by somebody else. CK going to be calling in, talking about the German band Except, man. Fucking balls to the wall. Everybody knows that song, but there's so much more to Accept than that. I've loved those guys since the mid-'80s, man. I've seen them a few times. Fucking amazing live band back in the day with Udo Dirk Schneider singing for them. And now they got another singer, newer singer that they've had for a few albums now. Amazing. And we're going to talk to CK about it because CK's ready to throw it down.
He's going to tell us all about it.
He will. He knows all about it, which is amazing.
That's awesome because I really don't know much about Except.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, yeah, we'll learn
honestly.
something. I know they first started singing in German and then they switched to English.
Oh, right.
Because obviously they knew the marketability of the band wasn't going to be very much if they were just singing German.
Seems to be the common metal language.
It does. It does.
Honestly,
That's true.
Really
That's
does.
a good way of putting it, man. Also, we're going to play a clip from some Accept, and then also Cattle Decapitation got a new album out. We'll jam some of that. And also some new Carcass, man, just unveiled last week. Amazing stuff. Play a little clip of that. Sounds to me like something off of Heartwork or maybe Descanting the Insalubrious. One of those two albums. Amazing shit by Carcass. So new Carcass coming soon. The Murder Metal Mayhem activity book, the coffee table book that should be nowhere near a coffee table, is done. Placing the order for the first printing. And we'll let you guys know once that order's placed how much it's going to be per copy to order them in advance. And I thought, Chris, we'll do something cool where if they advance order the book, they'll get a free koozie while they last. And then a free signed 8x10 of me, you, and CK for the advanced orders. So you're not going to want to miss this because if you don't advance order it, you just get the book if you order it after the date.
You want that extra bonus shit.
You want the fucking 8x10. CK signed them too, man.
Fuck yeah, man.
That's a rare thing. The three of us signing the same thing. So anyway, we'll keep you posted. I think by the year-end episode, the BTK show, we'll have all that, so you'll hear about it, and it's going to be amazing, so stay tuned for that. Also, huge thanks to sponsor Spellbound FX and Art.com.
Yes,
Chris,
sir.
Tony Campagna, I mean, we're looking at this fucking lamp, dude, with this light that's
ridiculous.
Pulsating inside of it. It's so fucking sick.
Yeah, this is pretty fucking nasty, dude. I fucking love it.
Yeah, Tony is incredible, man. This is the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen. We've got the Murder Metal Mayhem studio with the fucking arm he made for us with our name carved in it. This fucking lamp here.
And basically another arm, but with the shades made out of sewn together faces.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
It is. And he actually sewed this shit together. It's not fake looking. It's
no, not at all.
Incredibly fucking realistic. And then what's around the base?
Yeah, the base of it's really freaky because it's got all those teeth around it. That's just okay.
It looks they're
sketchy
teeth
shit
going all the way around it. And the back of the arm is sewn up to where the lamp went through it. It
looks pretty fucking righteous.
Amazing. So I'm telling you, we've been talking about these guys, but this looks like it's straight out of fucking Ed Gein's fucking workshop, dude.
100%. Straight realistic, movie quality shit, dude.
Exactly. And he's got a catalog. You go to his website, you can order something. Some of the stuff, like the lamp and the forearm, get a little expensive, still well worth it.
Oh, definitely worth it.
But he's also got the thumb drives and some of the smaller stuff that's not that much. So there's tons of shit on there for all price points.
Right.
Great gift ideas.
You can even get a dismembered penis.
You can. You can get a severed appendage, I think he calls it.
Right, appendage.
He's got a fucking apron, dude. The Ed Gein aprons.
Yeah,
he's got a pigskin fucking apron. Looks like a pig belly.
Dude, there's everything he's got is just so fucking awesome.
It's incredible. He's got the cowboy hats he's making now too.
I really want one of them fucking
You need
cowboy
one of those, dude.
I really want to get one of those.
You really need one of those, man.
Oh my God, that would be so awesome. I need one of those.
That would be amazing, man.
I would wear that thing everywhere. What up? I'm wearing it to the kids' schools and everything.
I can totally see it, dude. You standing in line at Huck's,
the fucking gas station grabbing beer or something. Just what's up?
People staring at it are those human faces sewn into your hat?
Yep. They're not like human faces. They are human faces.
So, I know we keep talking about this, but for fuck's sake, if you don't go to spellboundeffectsandart.com right now, You need to be kicked in the fucking sack,
Oh,
man.
dude,
I'm
go,
sorry.
Yeah, go check his shit out. Buy something. Help this man out too.
Yeah, I mean, he's just doing good stuff, and it's so well worth it. We love it. And thank you again, Tony. The lamp is just absolutely perfect for the middle of our table. So
Shit, yeah.
if you missed that full interview with Tony, give that a listen. It was a great interview. Now, Tony has a contest, Chris, without a winner yet.
Without a winner yet.
You
Y'all
got to
need
go
get
to
in
that
on this,
Spellbound
'cause-
FX and Art.com. Go through the online catalog, okay? I'm telling you how to do this. So listen. Go to his online catalog and look through it. He's got tons of stuff on there that we've been talking about. Go through all of it, okay? In one of the pictures that you see, there's a clue that has to do with the famous serial killer, and I'm going to even drop this hint, might have been of the cannibal persuasion,
Maybe.
okay?
You just got to find it, though.
So you got to find it, and then you got to email Tony, and the contact info is right on his website, and tell him you saw it, what you saw, and what
where you
serial
saw it.
killer you're talking about.
Yeah.
And you win the prize. And Chris, what is the fucking prize?
One of these badass fucking forearms that's been severed with, if you're a band, get
Yeah.
your band name or logo.
You could put
carved
your
into it.
girlfriend's
You
fucking
put-
name
yeah,
on it, whatever the fuck you want,
He'll have
man.
something cuffs and carved into it for you. All you got to do is just get on there and look and find it. Ain't going to be super hard. Somebody get on there and find that
you
shit.
just got to be patient. Go through that online catalog. Be the first one to email Tony the right answer, and you win the prize. So how about that?
Get it.
So go to spellboundeffectsandart.com and get some of that. Big announcement, dude. We are the first vendor to secure our booth space at the next Dark History and Horror Con
Shit, yeah, man.
2020, baby. October 10th and 11th.
Hell yeah.
At the U of I, too. He's got it at a hotel
seen
on
it.
the U of I campus.
Switch venues.
Gonna be fucking sweet.
wait for that.
Even nicer than before. So the last venue was nice. It was a little crowded where he had our booths up, but such a cool place. So this is
yeah,
even
great
better
place.
than
Hell
that. So it's nice to see Brian, man, making that shit happen.
Yep. And the 11th's Michael's birthday, so we should
Oh,
see
perfect.
something like
Yeah.
kill him or something.
Yeah. Yeah, put him on a spit and fucking
Yeah.
have Tony make a fucking
Yeah,
like
we're
a
gonna
quilt
roast him.
or something. Out of it. Huge thanks to everybody out there listening. We really appreciate it. We continue to see the numbers roll in and the show expand into new cities all over the world. So really, thanks, guys. We really appreciate it. Spreading that word, Chris, like a case of the clap at a trailer park.
Always
Man.
spreading it like that.
Got a lot of stuff on our plate tonight, though. I hear the preaching of a man obsessed with a fiery end of the world. David Koresh is at the pulpit, U.S. government waiting outside with soldiers and tanks ready to deploy some CS gas, brother. So
Fuck yeah, let's get our apocalyptic murder on.
nice. Fucking Carcass, man. Under the Scalpel Blade.
Fuck yeah, I've been killing it for years.
Yeah. New Carcass coming next year. I don't know much more than that, so I'm hoping CK is going to shed some knowledge later about that subject because I love some Carcass. And that's a good one. Brand new stuff. So, anyway, dude, talking about carcasses, man, holy shit.
There was a lot of them.
Yeah.
And it wasn't good.
No, not at all. David Koresh is how we all knew him, but his real name, of course, Vernon Wayne Howell.
What's up, Vern?
Vern. He had a different kind of upbringing that possibly set him up to be what he became, that fiery preacher and apocalyptic cult leader in Waco who led his followers to their deaths at the end of a 51-day standoff with the FBI and ATF in April of 1993, man. So a very fucked up situation here.
51 days. Some of the shit that they did to those people in there.
I
too.
know.
God damn, man.
I know, man. It's pretty crazy stuff. Now, Chris, we've been talking about doing this one for a while. I know we both have kind of a thing for those crazy cult leaders. Of course, most people,
Yeah, because they're fucking whack jobs.
when you bring up cult leaders, think of Jim Jones. Koresh definitely falls in that.
Right.
But they take religion, just fucking go crazy
Out
with
there.
it, man.
Like the Children of God cult and fucking
Yeah.
like Shinriko and all that shit, dude. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck, man?
Yeah, it's really fucked up. And so I think we both have kind of an affinity for this. So I thought Koresh was a good one to dig in. I'm sure we'll do some of those others
Oh, I'm sure.
that you mentioned, especially Jim Jones. That's a
How
given.
can you not?
Now, the name David Koresh does have a significance, aside from having a little bit more flair than Vernon Howell. He changed it in 1990. The last name of Koresh, and if we watch some of those documentaries, those government types are calling him Koresh, which was kind of weird. But it comes from the Hebrew word for Cyrus the Great, who was a Persian king who was named a Messiah because he freed the Jews of their Babylonian captivity. So he's naming himself after this great
After
warrior,
kings and fucking
kings, and-
prophets, other prophets and shit.
right. His first name, of course, to signify that he was named after one of the descendants of King David. So he just went with the obvious, David. He believed he was the final prophet, and he was capable of understanding the 7 seals from the Bible's book of Revelation. Now, we're going to talk about this here in a moment, about the religious side of this. So just hang on 1 second for us, people. Because if you're like, oh God, they're going to go into this whole crazy religion discussion, we'll explain it here in a second.
Yeah.
He believed that he was the only one that could understand these seals and was capable in God's eyes to do that.
Lamb of God.
That's right. The seals are like visions of what's going to happen when the world ends, if that makes any sense. So each one of them is like a different event leading up to the final kaboom,
Apparently
basically.
he's the only one that could break the code in him or whatever.
Yeah, he's the only one. God sent him to do it, and all he talks about is the 7 seals, the 7 seals. And I'm watching these documentaries, and I'm just, because neither of us are obviously religious.
Right.
And I'm just like, what the fuck are the 7? They're talking about them like I'm supposed to know what this is, you know?
Yeah, I have no clue.
So
I
I'm
didn't
Googling this shit, and there's some interesting stuff about it. You know, you can
know
read
what
about
the
it.
7-day Advent and this shit was
Yeah.
before. Like, no clue, dude.
Everything is about the end of the world with these guys. He believed he was the only one who was supposed to father 14 children that would rise to power in a bizarre biblical prophecy. So definitely really out there with the religious stuff. Now, because of that, we're going to touch on some of it because we have to.
Right.
Because you can't tell the story and just take that off the table.
Nope, it's got to be part of the story because it is part of the story.
Right. But we are definitely, neither of us are theologians by any stretch.
Yeah.
So all we're going to talk about is what needs to be covered as we tell the story. The main part of this is, of course, about David Koresh and the crazy shit he was doing and all the happenings that led to that fire in 93. We did speak with, as we mentioned, David Thibodeau about that. David is definitely much more into the religious side of this. And we did, in the full interview with him, get into some of that. I remember
Just a little bit, yep.
him commenting at the end of the interview, and he said, wow, I can't believe I got into scripture on your podcast. I've never done that before. And then I think I said, yeah, of all places to do it.
Yeah,
too.
this is the one.
Like
of course.
with me and you, sitting there doing this. So it is kind of funny that we're talking about this sort of thing. But hey, we've learned from the podcast, we just like to sometimes mix it up a little bit. And the story is just so over the top.
And it helps you kind of understand why the shit happened.
Right. Because there's obviously a reason. Because you need to know to understand the incredible devotion that these followers had of him, which is what drove the whole thing.
Right. Like insane devotion.
Big time. Now, we're going to explain both sides of this, so you may have some preconceived notions about this story, and I would suggest you leave that kind of stuff at the door. Listen to what we've got to say. We could paint various angles of this looking at it as adults, And another thing to point out is that 25 children died in the fire that claimed a total of 79 in this event. And both of us, Chris, are fathers, uncles.
Right.
My God, I mean, it bothers both of us to even talk about something like this when we're talking kids. So
yeah, it's not good. I mean, I'd have probably got my kids out of there.
Yeah, I think most rational people would have, which is part of the whole reason of why the fuck did this even happen. So being, both of us being fathers and uncles and just decent human beings, this is just an abominable fucking story. And we are Murder Metal Mayhem, so we're not going to be, all stuffy and serious.
No.
We're going to do our thing, but we're hopefully going to do it in a tasteful way because we mean it all, no disrespect to the people that survived that and unfortunately the people that died there.
Lives, of course.
Definitely a very crazy situation. But if you're listening to us, I think you should expect the kind of stuff that you're going to hear from our mouths. So
sometimes the filter just doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. I don't know if you have anything to add to that whole thing, Chris.
No, that's basically it. Because we're not trying to look down on the people that were involved in this, but it's something that happened, and this is what we're going to do.
Right, because, I mean, everybody's got their own beliefs, and, hey, you want to believe this kind of stuff, that's fine. But I think when you're talking about 79 people burning in a fire, that's definitely worthy of a discussion.
And a third of them being kids. Like that.
Yeah, just really bad, really bad. Now, Vernon Howell was born August of 1959 in Houston, Texas, to a 14-year-old single mother, Bonnie Sue Clark, after a short relationship with his father, Bobby Wayne Howell. So, mother has a short-term relationship with this kid. She's only 14.
Yeah, he was like 20-something.
Yeah,
right?
he was in his 20s. Her father flips the fuck out, rightfully so.
Right, of course.
Chases his ass off. So she's got to raise this baby by herself because he doesn't want anything to do with her. So she's just making bad decisions here. She takes it to another level. Chris, she gets hooked up with this dude who's very abusive.
Right.
Drinking heavily.
And beats the shit out of him. That's even after that his mom freaking just dropped him off with his grandma, and he ended up living with his grandma for a while.
Yeah, because she was in this incredibly abusive relationship, not only to her but to him, and so she goes to stay with the grandmother, which is certainly better than where he was, but that marriage doesn't last long with all the violence, and just not a good thing for a kid to be exposed to. And Chris, sounds like the story, with these guys, these serial killers and stuff we talk about, it's just
from the beginning,
constantly a thing.
At least his mom didn't turn to prostitution. He had to sit there and watch his mom bang a bunch of dudes.
Yeah, there's that. So, yeah, I mean, just the bar, to be under to not be a fucking serial killer is just like, wow, because some of the stuff these kids go through is just awful, and you just wonder, how do they not turn into something like that, So it just seems like, something we've seen so many times before. Now, 1963, Vernon's 4. His mother leaves him, like you said, with the grandmother. She runs off with another boyfriend. So she's at least leaving him with the grandmother, but, what the fuck's up with her fucking choices here? Lots of problems. He's getting into, problems. Anytime you have a kid abandoned by a mother, and then, also in his case by his father.
Dad, who never really met.
Yeah, I mean, he's just got no parents, basically. So you can't help but imagine that's got to be a huge thing, Chris. I mean, wouldn't this be like the early signs of some big trouble?
I mean, I would say it would be. I mean, I kind of get it, though. His mom was only 14 when she had him and shit. So
right.
But still, she kind of just ran off, though. But still being 14, 15 years old, just kind of bailed. That's pretty fucked up. So.
It is. It's just a very, she just doesn't sound like a very stable person. And unfortunately got a kid in the mix here. Thankfully, she had her mother. But still, grandparents, it's tough. I couldn't imagine I love my grandkids, but I couldn't imagine having to raise them. That's got to be rough.
Yeah.
As you get older, man, it's not so easy to keep up with kids like it was when you were in your 20s, or in their case, their teens. So his mother does come back for him 3 years later when he's 7. She's married again, this time to a guy who she had another child with. Vernon had lots of trouble in school, though, Chris, battling dyslexia.
Yeah, he wasn't a very good reader and couldn't talk and shit, so they put him in like special ed class, special classes.
Yeah.
And they gave him a great nickname.
Yeah, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, they gave him a great nickname, call him Mr. Retardo all the time. To his
Yeah,
face.
it's like kids are fucking awful,
damn,
man.
dude.
You know, I mean, that's another one of these ones we talk about, the getting picked on at school,
like
you know.
constantly.
You know, a lot of these serial killers grew up that way, and they just fucking lash out, man. It fucked with him. Obviously, he winds up dropping out of high school in his junior year to focus on music because he learned how to play guitar.
He was
and-
actually pretty good.
Yeah, he
at
wasn't
guitar
too
and shit.
bad.
It's fucking, I mean, just wanted to be like anybody else, just grow up, be a rock star.
Yeah, I mean, he was a normal teenager, kind of with that at least, that part of him, wanting to play and be a rock star. Nothing, for a teenager, that kind of makes sense. Also, though this time, Chris, he gets super into the Bible and going to church. So the
Like,
music, he's
really
writing
into
songs about God and about the Bible and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
he's
religious songs for sure.
yeah. So he's like really into this, and his mother exposed him to the Seventh-day Adventists, and their belief is that they believe in the second coming of Christ at the end of the world, like the whole apocalyptic ending crap.
Yeah.
The book of
rapture and
Revelations and all that stuff. So they're really into that. So I know some of this terminology gets to be a little bit much, but when you hear of Seventh-day Adventists and later the Branch Davidians as kind of a splinter group of that, just think of the fire, the brimstone,
All the fucking
the world's going to end.
the
and,
war between heaven and hell.
yeah,
fucking-
and hell's going to break loose and this war and Armageddon and blah, blah, blah. The book of Revelation stuff. That's all you got to think of because they're definitely a little kooky with that. But he's got this amazing ability to memorize the Bible, Chris,
with
and
the-
that became his thing, man.
Yeah, like with having his freaking like reading disability and everything. Like he
Yeah,
could,
that
like,
blows my mind.
He could like recite entire freaking sections of the fucking Bible without even looking at it.
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Yeah, he was very impressive with his understanding of it and the fact that he could memorize it. He claims at this time he was a born again Christian and he winds up joining the church. Now, it doesn't take him long though, Chris, to get in a little bit of trouble. He seems to have a little problem
I think the wicked ways got to him.
with keeping his pee-pee in his pants because this is the first time this gets him in some trouble. While he's a member of the church and he's 19, he has a relationship with a 14-year-old, but it's not just any 14-year-old, it's
Pastor's daughter.
the pastor's daughter.
Gets her all knocked up.
Gets her knocked up all kinds of ways and claims that he was inspired by scripture to marry the girl. And when he suggests this to the pastor, he's thrown out of the church.
Now, wasn't he actually living there with them though until like
I think you're right.
Until she got pregnant.
think
That's
you're
when the
right.
pastor's like, no, now you got to go. Which makes no sense. You got my daughter pregnant.
Right.
Now you're fucking kicked out.
Exactly.
Why are you letting them fucking sleep together anyway, you dumbass?
I know. And that's kind of like what happened to him, like his mother.
Right.
They got rid of him or his dad because of the same
age
kind of reason.
difference, rape, pregnancy. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It is-
so it's odd that it's like father, son, same fucking
Yeah.
shit repeats itself. So even at a young age, he's showing that he likes younger girls and that he's using the Bible to justify it, no matter how obscure the references are. He's definitely on a fishing, in my opinion, in a fishing expedition on some of these references he uses.
Yeah, I would think so.
So kind of out there. Now, it was 1981 that Vernon moved to the outskirts of Waco, Texas to join up with the Branch Davidians. Now, as we mentioned, they were part of that Seventh-day Adventist, the end of the world, fire and brimstone. But the Branch Davidians began in the 1930s, a little more extreme, living in like a closed community or compound. Vernon Howell changes his name to David Koresh. That happened in 90. And he plays in the church band at first, and even takes his band to play in some of the Waco clubs. And he used it to help recruit new members. So he realized how, the music would draw the younger kids in. And that's how he winds up meeting David Thibodeau.
It's rock and roll.
Yeah, it's rock and roll. David Thibodeau was a drummer. They met him at like a Guitar World or Guitar Center.
They
or
gave him a card or something saying what they were about, and he like, okay, I'll go check it out. And there it went. Yeah,
so he winds up moving into Waco and was there for a year, I think he said, and through the whole siege and everything. So unbelievable. But so, David Koresh is using his music to help reach people maybe that wouldn't normally be into religion and stuff like that. He's definitely got charisma, though, Chris, a way with people. Definitely a natural-born con man, I think, in my opinion.
With the power of Christ, all things are possible. Sorry.
No, I mean, he was very good at convincing people.
Very good.
And whether you think he did or didn't believe this stuff, I guess doesn't even matter. It's only that he sucked a lot of people in and got a lot of people really fired up. And he taught people a lot of stuff about the Bible that they didn't know because he knew this shit so well. And he just seemed to have this uncanny ability to interpret it and to be able to recite it from memory, which is probably
a lot of
impressive.
A lot of the past members on like the documentaries and shit, they're like, when he was talking, you were just drawn to him. There was a way, something about the way he talked and the way he explained things. Yeah, it was him. And everybody followed him for that reason. So it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah. I mean,
you said, natural born con man, like you said.
Definitely. Now, when he first becomes involved with the Branch Davidians, they're living in a compound named Mount Carmel. And this is for biblical reasons. I'm not going to get all into it. It's confusing. Koresh would later change the name from the Mount Carmel to Ranch Apocalypse, which I thought was fucked up, man.
That is pretty fucked up.
Because that's definitely an eerie foreshadowing on how things would end up. Now, there was a widow there. This is kind of crazy. Lois Broden. She was running the show. She's a widow.
She's like 70 years old.
70-year-old woman. It's believed that Koresh started having sex with her. He's in his 20s.
I was going to say, he was like 22, 23, some shit like that.
And this is mentioned in some of the documentaries and in David Thibodeau's book, A Place Called Waco. So I'm thinking this is probably true. You got multiple sources here. Yeah. And so he's having sex with a 70-year-old woman and a 14-year-old at the same time. That's pretty fucked up.
He's like, I'm in between you all. We'll meet in the middle. It'll be all right.
He's definitely good at manipulating and getting what he wants by any means. So pretty fucked up shit. Now, because of this whole activity going on, Lois, all about letting David do whatever the fuck he wants.
Apparently, he was doing it good too.
He was doing his own preaching, known as the Serpent's Root, and this caused some drama, especially with her son George. Now, this motherfucker's a pretty interesting piece of work here.
Kind of a nut job himself. Yeah,
he was expected to be the leader of the group after his dad passed, because his father said that his child would be the chosen one and would eventually lead him. But George even ran for public office at one time, but he is fucked in the head, and he goes after Koresh with a fucking gun. I mean, it gets kind of wild, Chris. Some like hillbilly shit for sure, man.
Yeah, definitely some hillbilly shit.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like an episode of, I don't know, some reality show gone fucking amok. I don't know, but
I don't know, man. But fucking dude really wanted to fucking take over that church.
Yeah, and he was pissed off because Koresh just comes walking in here
like, "Hey, I'm gonna bang your mom and take over your fucking legacy."
Right.
Pretty
exactly.
much.
Yeah, I mean, he was tripping. Now Koresh pisses Lois off because he marries the 14-year-old girl. Now this is what's crazy, dude. The father of the 14-year-old gives him permission, wakes the kid up in the middle of the night.
Says, go get in the van with David. You're leaving. You're his now.
You're his now. You're going to marry him. Do what he says.
Fucked up.
I mean, both of us, we're both dads. We both have daughters. Dude, now that's some fucked up shit I couldn't even imagine.
No, some dude comes walking up saying some shit like that to me about one of my daughters. They're getting knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, I
that's
don't think
just
so, dude.
crazy to imagine what kind of control he had
To
over
get
a
this-
dad that would do that. That's
Yeah.
what's so fucked up about
Like to
this.
get him to actually go physically wake her up in the middle
Yeah,
of the night.
like all about
to
it,
go,
you know?
Oh, yeah, you're going with the prophet now or whatever.
Wow.
It's fucking ridiculous.
It is. So he pisses off Lois, the 70-year-old, because he's now marrying his 14-year-old. It's legal in Texas with the parents'
With the
permission.
parents signing off, yeah.
So it's all legit. And this obviously causes a rift in the church. So George gets all pissed off and forces him and 25 of his followers out. Tells them to get the fuck out. And they move about 90 miles away. I thought this was interesting. To Palestine.
I know, and I saw Palestine. I was like, well,
I
that's
did a
kind of
double
fitting,
take.
dude.
I'm like, that's not 90 miles from Waco. But it's like, no, Palestine, Texas.
Right, yeah, Palestine Tech. I was like, huh.
I did think that was funny, though. And they live in buses and tents.
Yeah, I thought that
for
was
a couple of years
They had,
until
like, basically hollowed out buses.
Yeah.
That were just no seats in them, just like a pallet on the floor just where you sleep. No electricity, no running water. They're just
Right.
out there in the woods or whatever.
Stinking
Just-
it.
That's fucking nuts too.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
They're following this guy.
I know.
Fuck.
And apparently George Roden had challenged Koresh to a contest
See who could
raise
raise
the dead.
first.
So to get him in trouble, Koresh goes to the cops to let him know that George has illegally exhumed a corpse for this contest, and the cops won't do anything.
Without
Could you
proof about
imagine
it?
being the sergeant on duty when he comes in to file this
He's like,
report?
so there's this dude pissed off at me. He wants to have this contest, try to beat me.
Right.
He's digging up this body. We're gonna try
Right.
and see if we can raise it from the dead. Whoever gets it first. You with me here? What I'm saying is, he's digging up a body, man.
Let me try to find the right form for that. I'm not sure which
Yeah,
one
right?
to fill
Let
out.
me fucking-
What the fuck?
Fucking calling out. There's Lois.
I'm actually off right now. You're gonna have to
Yeah,
deal with the next guy.
This
I'm-
shift change, bro.
I'm out of here, dude. Have a seat. We'll be with you in a minute. So Koresh goes to Mount Carmel with 7 armed followers to confront George and to get this photographic evidence that they want. A gunfight breaks out. George is wounded. He gets shot like in the chest and in like the hand. The cops arrest everyone. During the trial, Koresh claims they were there to get photographic proof about this exhumed corpse.
Right.
And that they were just defending themselves, and it's declared a mistrial, and he gets off, and the whole thing's fucking thrown out.
Dude, you ain't kidding about that hillbilly shit. This is like a religious version of the fucking Hatfields and McCoys and shit. Like my religion, they were bitching about moonshine. These guys are like, my fucking religious spirit is better than yours or whatever.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's fucking whack, dude. Now, as if this wasn't crazy enough, fucking George, shortly after the trial, George kills some other dude with an axe because he told him he was the Messiah, and George got all pissed off and killed him.
Why is everybody taking my role? Don't you know how Highlander works? There can be only one.
This motherfucker's fucking my mom and taking over my church. This fucking jack off saying he's the Messiah. Fuck this.
This is bullshit.
Kills him with an axe. Gets arrested, obviously. Put on trial. They find him fucking legally insane, so he's sent to a mental hospital. What the fuck, man?
I mean, it definitely, there's a lot of insanity going on.
I know. I actually was looking on eBay for David Koresh memorabilia, and there's George Roden campaign buttons.
Nuh-uh, for real?
Yeah, I think I'm going to get one. They're like $10.
Nice.
Yeah, it says George Roden. I don't know for what. It says Democratic Party. I can't remember what
Whatever
he's
he was
running for,
running
but it
for.
says Roden
That's fucking awesome.
for whatever. Yeah, it's fucking funny. It'd be one of those things that most people would have no idea
Yeah,
what it
like,
was
what's
unless you
this
really
about?
knew this story. Then it would be like, oh, that's
I
fucking
get
cool.
it. I get it.
So some more Bible thumping redneck fucking drama, dude. Lots of death and violence surrounds religion, unfortunately. And over the years, man, I think religion's probably killed more people than about anything else.
Anything. It's the worst cancer there is.
Yeah, it's definitely, fucked up to think about it. But yeah, I mean, it's claimed a lot of lives. Now, the founder of the Branch Davidians had believed that they should move to Palestine, Texas, where they were living in the buses and tents. But Koresh believed they should go to Jerusalem and Israel instead. So he grows out his beard, goes on a trip to Israel for some answers. But in 91, he believes that they should be at Mount Carmel, which is over there by Waco. And so that's where he thinks his final stand, his kingdom should be.
And he was correct.
He was. He's also recruiting new members from California, Australia, the UK. There was a lot of people there.
All the way from Australia.
From the UK and
shit.
stuff.
It's fucking crazy, yeah.
Yeah, he has religious scholars from all over the world coming to learn from him. His grasp of the elusive 7 seals of the Bible is what they find the most impressive. So again, it's not something we're into, but people that are into that shit, it's a big deal.
Yeah, for real.
David Koresh believed that he was able to break this secretive 7th seal, which would unleash Armageddon at the end of the world. So,
why would you want to unleash Armageddon?
I know. Well, they thought that they would be saved then because they were good. Chris, when we talked with David Thibodeau, he mentioned how brilliant Koresh was when it came to the Bible and understanding it. I think that was definitely something he put across.
I mean, a lot of the stuff that you like, the David Thibodeau stuff from the docs, like he talks highly of his knowledge of the Bible and certain things about him that were good. I mean, the other things, whatever, but he's a brilliant man according to Thibodeau and some other people on certain aspects of it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's obviously very negative about him, but the positive was definitely he was a smart guy when it came to the Bible and very good at manipulating and getting people to do what he wanted, which in a normal situation in business, that's good. But when you use it like he used it, it's not at all. So after Koresh and his followers regained Mount Carmel, he's still dealing with legal battles from George, who, even though he was a patient at the mental hospitals, suing him and shit like this.
He's like, you're still fucking with me, man.
He owed a lot of back taxes, so eventually David Koresh was able to raise the money and own the compound for once and for all. And I had also read that while Koresh was in Palestine, George had rented the place out to some people that were doing meth labs and shit out there.
When they moved back in, he actually reported it to the police and shit.
Yeah, told them, can you please get this stuff out of here?
I don't want this in here and shit.
Yeah, so... but what happens is
that one of the reasons one of the things they used to get warrants and shit when they came in, because they used that as a reason to believe there was drugs on the property. Or shit.
Interesting. Now he begins to stockpile weapons and trains his followers on how to use them, which is not a bad thing. I mean, hey, both of us, I think, are fully in support of people being able to have guns if they legally can have them to protect themselves or just to target shoot or hunt or whatever. But he is doing it in what he believes is building an army of God. And this is where things can get kind of wacky. And that's why we said that there could be some debate here, a little bit of controversy. And this is one of those things. And this is, another thing where people differ is, did David Koresh abuse children? We do know that he was having sex with underage
girls for sure.
I don't think there's any debate there. I know David Thibodeau mentions that in something I watched, I believe.
Right.
Not a good thing. It's shitty and it's criminal, and there's no two ways about it. There were some mentions of him beating his kids. Then there's some things that says he didn't. Who knows?
I mean, there was one thing. It's I seen one of the documentaries where actually Koresh said, "I punish my children. I'll spank them, whatever." But then some of the other members are like,
it went further.
It went further, beat them bad with a stick,
I think
or
something
paddle
where
and
you
shit.
beat him with a stick.
And this one lady said that the thing she regrets the most is when it was really young. Her kid was really young, and she was punishing the kid and looked at the paddle or whatever, and the kid's blood was on it. And that's like when she was like, "Holy fuck, what the fuck's going on?"
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some credible people that says he took it too far. Don't know. Again, both sides of this thing, we really don't know. And I didn't know a lot about that, about his background with that, Chris, until I started watching some of this stuff. Now, another issue related to Koresh and sex was how he convinced the male followers to not have sex with their wives.
But I get to have sex with your wives.
He gets to have sex with the wives. So it's like, yeah, okay.
All the
most
men
guys would be like, fuck you and leave, you know?
All the men except him were celibate, and the wife and husbands didn't even like sleep in the same rooms together anymore.
They were separated, and Koresh was on the floor with the women, and then the men and the kids are in different places in the compound. So it's definitely fucked up to imagine, people just being willing participants to that whole situation. He explained to them that the Bible said in Revelations there would have to be 24 elders to rule the world.
And they were supposed to be his fucking kids.
Yeah, and he had to be the father. So obviously, since that would be impossible with just one woman, he needed the multiple wives to have his children.
It's like some Gary Heidnick shit.
Big time. Yeah. And in the 1993 siege of the compound, there were 12 children fathered by Koresh and multiple
half of the kids that
Branch
died were
Davidian women.
Half of the kids that died were his own kids.
Right. He made the women feel special because God chose them, he said, to birth his children. He was one hell of a manipulator, though, and he used the Bible to get what he wanted and was able to twist and turn those words just right so it made sense to his followers.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
He's very good at speaking, so when you're good at speaking and you're charismatic and you know the Bible and can use it like that, makes it pretty dangerous. And he referred to the multiple wives and children as the House of David. So kind of fucked up. Definitely an ego fucking maniac for sure with this guy. Chris, I think it's he was able to brainwash people who were not stupid, which is amazing. Doctors, lawyers.
Yeah, like really smart people. But I guess if you're really looking for something like that to believe in, and somebody just goes about it the right way. Yeah. It's like this what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for us to even imagine it, but I mean, yeah, they were, he was just that good at convincing them that he was this prophet, and they're willing to do just about anything for him. Yeah. So, and I think that was part of the reason why later the ATF decided to do the raid, the first one, was they were worried that because these people were so devout, that if he was telling them to, go shoot up a bunch of people at a place, that they would just go do it.
Yeah, they would just go do it. Exactly.
So I think that's what got people really concerned about him. And you could, say what you want about how they did it, because that's certainly up for debate. But I think there's no two ways about it that if you're hearing a bunch of automatic gunfire at this compound and you know how religious they are and very fanatical.
Yeah, fanatics, exactly, yeah.
End of the world type shit going on, I would be a little concerned.
Constantly getting shipments in.
Yeah. Now, part of the teaching that the Branch Davidians believed in was that the armies of Babylon were going to come and attack and take their religion away or exterminate them. And this is when Koresh started to trade in weapons to raise money to survive.
They were going to be part of the battle.
Yeah, that whole army of God thing. In Texas now, that's a good way to make money, buying weapons, selling them at gun shows.
And they were doing it legally for the most part.
Well, they started, they were doing it legally. But it's when they started to take the semi-automatic weapons and make them fully automatic that things were getting kind of crazy. And what actually tipped off the police to what they were doing, I thought this was interesting. A UPS driver discovered a damaged box.
Full of
empty grenades.
Grenades like the one on the table.
Yeah, inert grenades with no explosives in them, but of course they could put that stuff
Yeah,
in
they
them.
could add whatever they wanted to them.
So he was like, what the fuck? So he calls the cops.
Full of them, though, dude.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
a whole bunch. So the cops know what's up. They get a hold of the ATF, and now he's on there, or they're on the ATF radar screen because, again, they're kind of worried. You got a cult in a compound, kind of separated from society.
Getting all these weapons
trained
and ammunition.
Lots of shipments. It's looking like they could be getting ready for something, and you just don't know.
Which they were, just not what everybody was thinking.
Right. Now, Chris, I mean, I think we both agree, like we just said, everybody's got a right to bear arms, and I don't want to get into that political crap right now.
Nope.
At all. But I could see where it would get people nervous, man.
Oh, I 100% see where it get people nervous. I mean, maybe me and my brothers aren't the greatest examples. We just got a freaking place out in the woods somewhere, and we got all this stuff, all these weapons, and we're just randomly popping stuff off, and people know we're doing dumb shit anyway.
Right.
Somebody's going to come looking and say, what exactly are you fucking doing?
Yeah, what are you guys planning over here?
What is your game plan?
Yeah, especially when you're talking about 123 people, I think, at one time. That's a lot of people there that you don't want to have armed and ready to fucking take something down.
That's a straight up militia, pretty much.
Yeah. So the ATF started watching the compound, and they move an agent across the street. I thought this was kind of dumb, kind of obvious. But he goes undercover into the Branch Davidian. His name was Robert Rodriguez. He goes in and gets very close to Koresh. They take him shooting, and he's like right in the middle of everything. But a local newspaper in Waco did a story on Koresh called The Sinful Messiah, and it was very negative, talked about a lot of the negative stuff about Koresh,
Right.
the underage girls and that sort of thing. That made him look really, really bad, and this kind of gave Koresh an idea that something was up. Now, Chris, this is when things start to get interesting. Rodriguez went undercover and thought he was going to die when fucking Koresh figured it out, but he winds up letting him go, which is pretty crazy. I don't know if you watched that on one of those documentaries.
Don't remember seeing that part exactly, but I mean, if they weren't exactly trying to be violent, I could see why they'd let him go. I mean, they weren't really looking to go hurt people other than Koresh and little girls, but they weren't actually out to attack other people.
Right.
So, I mean, why not let him go? Fuck it.
Yeah, I think what happened was the way they find out about it, because he warns the ATF like 2 hours before the planned raid that they were working on. They were training at Fort Hood, where I was at the time.
Right.
He told them Koresh found out about the raid from a local reporter who had gotten a tip about it and was trying to find the compound, and stopped and asked a postal worker where the compound was. The postal worker was Koresh's fucking brother-in-law. So he called Koresh. He's like,
Look, bro, here's what's up.
they're getting ready to raid your place because this reporter was just looking for you.
Now, which wife was it? The brother-in-law?
I'm not sure. Yeah, they said her name out of Rachel.
Yeah.
Rachel, the wife or whatever that he was with, Rachel. So pretty good luck that Koresh finds out about this, and then he does confront Rodriguez like, hey, like, we know you're the one that's been tipping him off, and he lets him walk, which is pretty crazy.
Go ahead and get out of here.
So they decide to do the raid anyway, even though the plan was to do it on a Sunday while they were in chapel and not anywhere near their weapons storage. So that was the original plan. The ATF said that he had hundreds of fully automatic AK-47s, AR-15s, a few 50 cals, and a lot of grenades. So definitely a pretty good stockpile of shit there,
Yeah, that 50 cal will make a pink mist from quite a distance.
Oh, so. Yeah. I've definitely shot a few of them in the Army, and they could fuck some shit up. So they were banking on the element of surprise, and the fact that they went ahead with it, these pompous bastards definitely turn this thing into a fucking bloody mess, man.
Yeah, because they knew that Koresh had been tipped off, right?
Yeah, yeah, they knew.
Yeah, they totally
like
knew.
2 hours before, Rodriguez told them.
That's right.
He knows.
That's right. We
don't
just
go.
talked about that. I'm fucking
and they were like, don't worry about it.
Yeah, we got this. We're
Yeah,
good.
we got this. Hold our beer. So, Chris, this is just a fucking recipe for disaster, man. I mean, this is
Definitely.
throwing fucking gas on a motherfucking fire, man.
Like literally throwing gas on, like, not that kind of gas, but Jesus,
Yeah.
for real.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Now, on February 28th of 93, the ATF raided the compound. There's a lot of debate about this raid. If they raided the compound to arrest David Koresh for the weapons and the child abuse, then some would question why they didn't do it when he went on jogs or left
Right.
the compound to go into
Yeah, because
town.
he'd go in and he would be not necessarily alone all the time. He had somebody with him, but why risk everybody else if you just want
Right.
this one guy?
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense. Now, some people would say because they didn't know what the others would do
And
if they took
retaliation.
him. So I could see that being valid if they think these people are, brainwashed and they're not going to respond in a normal way. Maybe they were worried. I don't know. I'm just
Right.
saying that, maybe there was a reason, but it does seem suspicious that they wouldn't have just taken him. Maybe they were looking for the show. They wanted the show of force.
They fucking got a show. That ain't no bullshit.
Yeah. Now, some people would say because they looked so bad in 92 with that debacle at Ruby Ridge, where some innocent members of a family were murdered in rural Idaho over some gun
Yeah,
issue.
it's another ATF situation.
Another bad one, smaller scale, but still was in the news a lot. Who knows? Maybe they did do it in retaliation of that. We don't know. But it does stink, and a lot of people question it. So 10 people died in that gun battle that went down. 4 ATF agents and 6 Branch Davidians. Koresh himself was wounded in the wrist and stomach.
Yeah, and he had to deal with that the whole time the siege was going on for the 51 days or whatever.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was pretty sick there for a while, man.
I mean, you've been shot, so
Yeah.
especially in the stomach. That's a
Oh,
slow
yeah.
bleed
That's
out, man.
serious shit, man. Now, Chris, I don't know. What do you think about the controversy of the raid? Like, should they have gone in the way they did? I mean, why didn't they take him down while he was in town? That sort of stuff.
I definitely don't think they should have done it the way they did. And also, there was the point where he literally walked outside, tried to talk to him and whatnot. And I don't remember exactly what happened with that, but something happened. They're like, fuck you. And so I don't know. I just don't think they should have done it the way they did because that's a lot. They had like, 700 and some FBI and ATF agents out there and everything. Like,
Yeah,
just-
they had helicopters. I mean, it was like a
tanks, yeah.
military operation.
like for real. So yeah, I think they put a little too much into it.
Yeah. It seems like they could have done it a lot differently. They could have taken him down in a small group
Yeah, definitely.
and dealt with the rest, but maybe it was the kid issue. They're worried about those kids in there. It's hard to say, but it's hard to imagine if they're worried about the kids in there, why they would go in with helicopters and
Guns blazing.
assault troops,
It doesn't make
which
sense.
seems like that would be even worse. So it's very, very controversial. Now, there's some extensive drama between the Branch Davidians and the FBI hostage negotiators. There is a lot of audio of that stuff if you want to check that out. This episode is going to be long enough without getting all into the middle of that.
Yeah, because there's a lot.
Yeah, there's whole documentaries just on that. So if you are interested in this story, I would suggest you check it out. A lot of back and forth was going on. They were trying to appeal to Koresh's ego because he had a big ego and trying to use that to their advantage during the negotiation. They did manage to get some women and children out of there, which is good over the
Yeah,
51
and they weren't,
days.
like they were allowed to leave freely. It wasn't like no, you got to fucking stay here.
Right. That's what he said. Now, who
Right.
knows? But I would think the way they were so devoted that he's probably right.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
So-
okay, if that's what you want to do, go.
Right. But Koresh was firm on not letting any of his own children out. He felt they were going to be needed after what was going to happen as foretold in the book of Revelation. So again, back to that with the 7 seals and the doom and the fire and the brimstone and all that. During the 51-day standoff, the FBI uses all sorts of techniques. You alluded to this earlier, Chris.
Yeah.
Some really fucked up shit, man. What were they doing to him, man?
Over loudspeakers, just playing fucked up shit. That was what's that chick's name? That song that was "Boots Are Made for Walking."
Oh, Nancy Sinatra.
Yeah, Nancy Sinatra. They kept playing that over, and then they fucking kept playing the sounds of fucking goddamn rabbits getting slaughtered, and that's a freaking high pitched squeal. Just. You could tell something bad's happening to something, and they just kept playing that over and over and over again.
Yeah, all day and night, fucking sirens, lights, fucking
the sounds of like
planes.
breaking glass and shit, just like constantly just trying to get into their head. And this is like even after they've cut the power to the compound, right? So
yeah,
they didn't have any power in the 51 days. There's no power in there or nothing. They're just
they were running out of supplies. They had like very rationed water. They said the only water they were getting was rainwater they collected. Right. I'm surprised that the ATF or FBI didn't give them at least water, but they were giving them MREs, and I don't know if they were our MREs or their own that they bought, but they were eating MREs like the military would there at the end. So they were running out of supplies. You know, they were desperate. It was getting down to the wire here, you know. So pretty fucked up. They're doing all sorts of stuff. They would take like a song and play it at like a real slow speed and then wind it up to real fast and then slow and then fast and
all over like 24 hours a day.
Yeah. I mean, you can't sleep with all that going on. So imagine how you are 51 days into this and barely any sleep. I mean, you're just
wore down.
You're not right.
Yeah, just wore down.
Big time. Now, the hostage negotiators, I heard, were pissed because they were thinking that kind of activity would go against what they were trying to do. And instead of making them come out, that would bring them closer together and make them want to stay in there even more. Like scaring them into staying in there.
Right.
Because of the big bad world out there type of crap. So
get them together like, all right, we got to stop this shit. We're going to go kill them. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. So there was a lot of drama within the FBI of people saying they should have gone in, you know, they should have done something sooner, or they shouldn't have done all the psychological warfare crap.
Right.
Who knows? Again, you know, you got different people saying different things. Everybody's kind of got their own take on it. But sounds like, Chris, at least to me, that the FBI didn't really know what to do here. Seems like they're just kind of like fishing around. I don't know. What do you think, dude?
Because, I mean, you got all these people that are supposedly trapped, but none of them want to come out. When, like, the shooting started and everything, there was the one guy calling the 911. There's the recording of him saying, like, look, there's women and kids in here. Tell them to stop. What the hell's going on? Like ducking from bullets flying in and everything. And one of the things I heard is this one lady, her and her kids went in her room, and the shooting was going on for like 2 hours, they said, and it went for so long that one of the kids actually fell asleep underneath the bed while the shooting was going on and shit. That's how long. That's how long that shit was happening.
That's crazy.
Yeah, how fucked.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, it's
in a gunfight, a kid's falling asleep.
Yeah,
yeah, that's really fucked up. And I can't imagine, you know, being in the middle of all that. It just had to be total chaos. Now, as I mentioned, Chris, I was stationed at Fort Hood at the time in the Army. It was about 65 miles south of Waco. And I remember seeing this on the news constantly as the 51-day standoff began. Now, I was, you know, this would have been at the very beginning of the 24/7 news cycle, where you see this stuff like in repeat, you know. I was in the field a lot when I was in the Army. My kids were little at the time, so I really wasn't like engaged in the news, didn't really care. But this was hard to avoid. I mean, this was a standoff of epic proportions.
Right down the road.
An hour away from us. But I would have never equated, at the time at least, the military to it, even though it was definitely a military-style operation. Even though I was in the Army at the time, I wouldn't have thought like we were going up there.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean? So now the FBI or the ATF is joined by the FBI due to the casualties
ATF
just
guys
over
dying,
the top. And so they kind of step in there. They're camped outside of Mount Carmel. Looks like a military takeover. They're using psychological warfare against Koresh, as we mentioned. And there's some of the followers that came out, but they just didn't get far enough. They didn't get enough of them out that they
Right.
wanted to. Definitely trying to get the kids out. He wasn't having any of that. You got people brainwashed like this. It's no wonder why a lot of these people stayed. I did see one of the documentaries had an interview with an FBI agent who said they assumed that
I
the
saw
parents would bring the kids out.
It's like trying to save their kids, which is like I would, like I said earlier, I would like.
Yeah,
this-
I mean, I
this
can't
happen
imagine
with my kids in
letting
here.
your kids
Not
subject to
happening.
that.
So, but didn't happen.
No, they said they were wrong because obviously these parents were fine with it, even though you would think the parental instinct would be to let the kids out at least.
Yeah, at least
you
take-
could go back in there, but at least let
At
your
least let
kids
your
out
kids
of there.
survive. They're kids.
Right, but I think a lot of these people thought that the world was evil and terrible, and they would rather their kids be with them in that situation than to go out into this horrible, evil world.
Right.
Would be my guess. It's just hard to imagine in our situation that would not be the instinct would be to let them out.
You
right?
would think it would be, honestly.
Now, another thing about my time at Fort Hood, and I'm going to keep the details vague from when I was at Fort Hood. I was in an armored cavalry unit at the time, and if you don't know, the cavalry in modern times, not horses like it was back in the day, but reconnaissance of the enemy with lightweight tanks or what we call Bradley fighting vehicles, larger tanks for attacking, which would have been the Abrams, and then the armored helicopters like Cobras and Apaches. And this is how it was during this time. That's when I was there. I don't know what it's like now. I've been removed from it for a number of years. The unit I was in was a rapid deployment unit, which meant that we had to be somewhere once we got the call, 96 hours, boots on the ground, tanks, everything ready to go.
Good to go.
So it was pretty stressful. This would have been right after Desert Storm. So 93, I got to Fort Hood in 92, I think, early 92. So this would have been about a year later. There was still a major threat in the Middle East going on at the time. Saddam Hussein was still in power. Lots of turbulence like there always is in the Middle East. We were under alert a lot. One morning, which would have been April 19th, 1993, one of the Bradley crews was alerted to load up like they were actually going somewhere, like with real stuff. No one else, just that one Bradley. And after a couple hours, the crew was told to stand down, that they weren't going anywhere. And then just today, a buddy of mine I saw on Facebook had commented on something about his time at Fort Hood during this time in a different unit.
Right.
And he said that they were also looking to have to send people up there, but wound up getting called off as well. So it doesn't look like we were the only ones. Now, of course, this would have been before cell phones, before the internet. None of us heard anything about that day until we got home from work.
It's actually seen it on the news or whatever.
Yeah, because nobody's getting like up-to-date shit on a phone like
Right.
they would be today. So no one ever talked about why that Bradley crew was alerted that morning or why we were told to stand down and not go. I do know that at the time, all of our Bradley and Humvees were painted sand because they
the
just
Middle
got back
East,
from
yeah.
the desert. And the Bradleys that they used were not sand, but they were woodland, or what people would think of as just regular camo. So this would have been a National Guard unit. So I know they used a guard unit. I think it was a guard unit closer is why they wound up going with them.
Right.
But all I could say is I'm glad they fucking did, because
Glad it
I would
wasn't you.
not
Yeah.
have wanted that on my conscience.
For real.
That's awful. Chris, now you would have been young, like we were saying, about 15 at the time. Now, do you remember any of this while this was going on?
I do remember it happening. I mean, I didn't watch the news and shit when I was younger, but I remember it happening. People always talking about fucking the Waco and shit. Fucking
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I remember seeing some of it, but not too much.
Yeah, like you said, at your age, I could see why. And if I wasn't in the Army right there, I probably wouldn't have followed it very much either. I would have been 22, 23.
Right.
It was on that day that the 51 standoff would be over. April 19th, 1993 was the day that the U.S. would have one hell of a blemish on their record. Despite wanting to do the right thing after Ruby Ridge, Attorney General Janet Reno stepped in at big time and okayed the siege of the compound. So, as if Ruby Ridge wasn't bad enough, they follow it up with this shit.
Which is way more people.
A lot worse. So, very, very bad. You got 79 people who believe the world is about to end and that an army of soldiers from Babylon is coming to wipe them out. These guys are armed well with plenty of automatic weapons, plenty of ammo,
military style, yeah,
grenades, all kinds of shit. There were some Davidians that were released over the course of the 51 days, and the FBI was really trying to get these kids out, but the ones that were left were fucking on fucking edge, fucking weary.
Like I said before, just have been up forever because of the sounds and just head's not working right.
Stressed out to the fucking max. On top of that, they're surrounded by people who are also well armed, who are also on edge. This was just, what the fuck did you think was going to happen? I mean, Chris, this is just fucking crazy. I mean, it's just fascinating to think what is the only outcome of this whole fucking situation?
I mean, unless you actually talk to them and I think this is the way everything was going. This is about the only outcome. The way everything transpired. I don't know, man. It's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, I don't see how they would have expected anything else to happen other than this. But again, it's easy for us to say that looking back at it. Now, Janet Reno gave the green light to take the compound by force, which is what they did. David Koresh had been buying time and telling the FBI he had been told by God to write down his interpretation of the seven seals. They tried to work with him, but the negotiations just were not working.
He just kept saying, when I get this done, we'll surrender or whatever.
Yeah, they were just getting impatient. They were afraid he was going to do something. The military attacks that they did, they used tanks. They equipped them with CS gas to get the gas into the building. CS gas, very similar to tear gas.
Yeah, basically kind of the same, like for the moon when you had to do gas. You did the gas in the when you went in the military, right?
Yeah, the gas chamber in the military, they use CS gas, and you have to breathe it in without your respirator, and it's pretty rough, man. You're choking and gagging, and
gas masks. They had gas masks, but they don't fit kids.
Right. So they had the gas masks, but not the ones that you would, a kid would fit into. So obviously they were like holding like wet cloths over their
faces, which isn't the same as a fucking gas mask by any fucking means.
It's not. It's amazing that these parents let these kids go through this shit. Now I saw that they use CS gas in a liquid form, and it's supposed to be extremely flammable. Now, Chris, do you remember David Thibodeau talking about this? When he was on stage, I thought he was bringing this up, but I know it was a little hard to hear him from where we were. I don't remember if you heard him talk about that at all.
I do not remember.
He had something where he had some data about the way they delivered the gas.
Yeah, there was
much more flammable and would have lent itself to explosions and so forth.
I saw that there was other, like, maybe like kerosene or something in there that once the fires started, that obviously didn't help when you got flammable materials.
Right.
So yeah, I don't exactly see remember what Thibodeau was saying about the CS gas, but yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah. I think you're right. They did have kerosene and stuff in there probably for heaters that they were using. So there was just a lot of stuff, and those buildings were probably built like a fucking tinderbox, you know.
Right. No
Pretty
shit.
basic, no fire retardant, anything, I'm sure.
To come up from a tent in a bus, though.
Right. That's for sure. Now, another area of debate, probably the one that really makes you wonder, is who started the fires, because after a while, the buildings start to billowing smoke out the window. One of the docs that I watched that David Thibodeau recommended is called The Rules of Engagement. It's on, I think it was on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Called Rules of Engagement. Documentary, because if you just type in Rules of Engagement, it's that sitcom show. But if you type in Rules of Engagement documentary, you'll find it easy enough. They've got some infrared experts who believe the fires were set by the military vehicles.
Yeah.
And also what appears to be automatic gunfire being shot into the building.
It was the spark is going to cause whatever, the CS gas and the flammable shit
to go boom.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch knowing how many kids were trapped in that building, because they're punching huge holes in the side of this building, and as they're putting the gas inside.
Yeah, they're just driving that fucking that tank with the crane that they're delivering the gas. They're just driving that fucking thing right through the fucking house, basically.
Right.
Fuck
I mean, it's
man.
fucking crazy, dude. And they're saying, some of the eyewitnesses talk about these big fireballs that like shoot down a whole hallway.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, it's just really fucked up. And so the place goes up in flames and eventually would burn to the ground in a relatively short period of time.
They said that the fire was so loud, it sounded like a freight train. Just that raging of a fire that it was loud as fuck and hot. You could feel the heat from however far back they were.
Right.
So,
and I mean, they're talking about this doomsday shit. This kind of acted like something you would see in a doomsday scenario. So that just kind of fed into their rhetoric about the Bible, and we're in the end times, and here's this country coming to take us, and boy, here's these armed guys show up. So it sure looks like you're telling, what's going to happen. They believe you even more now that this shit is going on.
Is going to happen is happening. So yeah,
right. So now this is interesting. Koresh dies of a gunshot wound to the head. Some believe that he shot himself, or at least had his second in command, Steve Schneider, do it. Schneider was also found the same way. So you wonder if it was like a murder-suicide type thing.
Yeah.
Don't know.
To survive from burning to death, but you let all these fucking kids do it or whatever.
Right. If you're going to go ahead and let all these kids and women do that shit, then you ought to be doing it yourself.
Doing it yourself, exactly.
But no, they went the easy way out. One of the documentaries I watched mentioned Koresh being obsessed with the reference in the Bible to a wall of fire to separate Metamucil, a wall of fiber, a wall of fire to separate him from Babylon, giving credence to the fact that they wanted to set the fire themselves. But I don't know. I know David Thibodeau did not believe that any of the fires were set by them.
Not.
But when you watch, like, some of the FBI guys think that they were. But again, you look at what their motive might be. Obviously, the FBI would rather people think that the Davidians said it themselves.
Instead of them, yeah, because they don't want that coming back on them for sure.
That's right. That's right. So you never know, because you always have to listen to the news and who's telling it to you and what's their motive. Do they have some type of ulterior motive here, that maybe that's why they're painting it that way, because that's the way it
they want
them,
it to be. Yeah.
So it's hard to say.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
A lot of different ways you could look at this thing. Now, this is kind of funny. The FBI says that they didn't fire any shots that day. Yet 20 of the Branch Davidians died of gunshot wounds.
I have seen video footage, and there are definitely fucking gunshots coming from outside into that fucking house.
Exactly.
Don't tell me you didn't shoot any. I have seen footage, and there are definitely outside shots going in.
Oh, yeah. Now, some of these people, 20 of them died by gunshot, so obviously they're being shot by somebody. Some of them suffered horrible wounds that are caused by the tracks of the tanks, which was fucking brutal.
Yeah,
I saw one small boy stabbed to death. Not sure what the fuck the deal was with
see
that.
one. That's fucked.
So how did that happen, So no matter how many, or no matter how the 79 people died by gun or fire or whatever, still a brutal day and a serious black eye in the country. I mean, just really shitty.
Right.
Now, Chris, what are your final thoughts on this story? I mean, who do you look at to blame, or is there somebody to blame for what happened?
It's kind of
here?
a cross between both of them, honestly. Like Koresh or whatever, they probably could have done things a little different with the way they were doing their guns, and don't be freaking banging little kids. Definitely don't do that. And just the way the government or whatever went about it, I definitely think they shouldn't have done that. I think it was a mixture of the both of them.
Yeah, I would agree.
And maybe if they didn't get tipped off or whatever, it would have went a little different as well, because now they're prepared to have some kind of confrontation.
Right.
So I just think it's a fucked up situation that should have never happened.
Yeah, I agree with you, dude, that I think both sides share some of the blame here. I think the sex with the underage kids is horrible. I also don't like the way he subjected his kids to that violence and let them see that. The FBI and ATF, though, could have really handled this a lot differently. Could have taken him down outside, or when they had him on the damn shooting range, they could have fucking taken him down there.
Yeah, when he took the FBI or the ATF agent out shooting and shit. Yeah, why didn't they just say, hey,
right,
guess what? Mm-hmm. We got you, buddy.
Right. So it's really amazing. I know from, going to the range myself, you can't just, you've got people that are just, that go into a situation like the way they did, and you can't expect any other outcome from it.
No.
You just can't, because these guys, they got tipped off that they knew they were coming in there. They should have just changed plans.
Right.
Not went ahead with it, but they were very pig-headed.
It's just like, let's do this anyway. Fuck them. We're going to take them down. And
yeah.
Next thing you know, the country's all looking at you like, what the fuck's going on?
Right. And so you wonder, could they have done it a lot differently, not the way they did it? I think probably the answer to that is yes. So I don't know. But whatever happened that day, I'm definitely glad that neither me nor any of the guys that were in my unit in the Army were part of that bullshit.
Right. Hell yeah.
I definitely would not have wanted that. And my buddy that contacted me today, I'm glad he wasn't there either. He had a rough go of it over in Iraq, came home 100% disabled. So he's had a bad enough time as it is, let alone having this on his head too.
Yeah.
The date of April 19th would stick in the minds of Oklahoma City bomber Timothy McVeigh, who was actually near the scene of Waco during that 51-day standoff in support of the Branch Davidians. McVeigh would use that anniversary, April 19th, to carry out his bombing of the Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City 2 years later. So they love those anniversary dates, man.
Yeah, the anniversary dates. And he was, I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoy my weapons and everything, but he was like super like gun activist. Is that what I'm saying? So he felt like the ATF and everything was infringing
stepping on their...
Yes, exactly that. So he definitely had his way on the 19th to try and revenge David Koresh, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
he was a fucking idiot too. So
well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing is nobody's, we both are in agreement. If you have legal guns and you're doing it right, have as many guns as you want, whatever,
Right,
be smart about it. But when you're, going to that extreme like that, that's
Right.
when things get kind of wacky. And, he came there to show his support, and then later wound up using that anniversary date for his own fucking, mess, which killed a bunch of kids over there too. So that was fucked
Yeah,
up.
because that was a fucking daycare center.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe McVeigh will be one we do,
Right.
down the road. It would be an interesting discussion, I'm sure. Now, to add insult to injury, some of the survivors were given prison time for their involvement with the attack against the FBI and ATF, despite the fact that they claimed they were defending themselves.
I'm sure they were at that point. Just like, how the fuck is this happening to me?
Yeah, I mean, they were, once the bullets started flying, it's like, who the hell
Right.
knows?
Yeah,
You're...
every man for himself.
Anything
basically.
could happen.
Yeah.
And that's where the big controversy is who fired the first shot. Don't know. Okay.
Nobody. They say they don't know, but
They don't
I'm
know, but
sure somebody knows.
you would think. That David Thibodeau that we've mentioned, he wrote the book that we reference, A Place Called Waco, that later became a multi-part series called Waco that came out last year on the 21st anniversary of it. David continues to speak out against what happened to them at Mount Carmel. He was super cool with us.
Awesome guy to talk to, man. Still fucking plays drums in a metal band,
Yeah,
too.
I think that's really cool. He's a metalhead. He's cool as hell. So I want to play 10 minutes of this interview we did, Chris, with David. The whole interview is about 20 minutes long, so we'll play about half of it here. He was one of the few survivors that escaped that day. Very, very harrowing story. He figured that the FBI was going to shoot him when he left the building, but he was one of the 4 survivors that was not prosecuted. So I think there were 9 that got out.
Yeah, I believe 9.
David was one. So check this out. This is our interview with David Thibodeau. Now, we're going to be doing a feature coming up on David Koresh, and obviously, we only know what we can read or we can watch.
Yeah.
And obviously, you knew him very well because you were there for how long were you at the compound?
About a year solid, but I was in the group for 2 years.
Yeah. Okay. So you played drums for his band.
Yeah, I was there for the whole siege too.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
So what is it about your knowledge of David that maybe our listeners might not know from what we've heard and seen?
Well, he was very much mostly like Taylor Kitsch played him in the 6-part series.
Right.
He was kind of, laid back most of the time. He had a sense of humor, but mostly he was just a teacher. People looked at him as a very gifted teacher. He knew the scripture from Genesis to Revelation. He could put it together and make it come alive. It was like he lived it when he gave a study. It wasn't like he was giving a study. It was like this is a person that has been through all of this scripture on a first-hand basis. That's what his studies were like.
He's given his first hand.
It was very, very weird, man. I had never seen anything like it. So he definitely wasn't a con man. He definitely believed, but it's not that he was able to convince others. He would reveal the 7 seals, and if you listen long enough, you'd be like, I've never seen anything like that before.
Total opposite of Jim Jones.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. He actually had scripture. He could actually do what he claimed he could.
Right.
Now, the question is, I'm sure if we were to have the 7 seals right now, theologically we could debate that back and forth.
Right.
And if you are basically raised in a particular religion, that's the religion. Not much is going to be able to challenge that. Like if you're a Seventh-day Adventist, or you're a Baptist, or you're a Catholic, I'm not going to convince you of anything.
Right.
You're set in your ways.
You have to have an open mind to things, but if you had that open mind, his challenge is really easy. The book says it's sealed with 7 seals and no man can reveal it. Then he'd say, let me show you the 7 seals. And that's what would piss everyone off. Because if you were a scholar or you were someone who was, had a congregation yourself, you're claiming that you can reveal it. You're claiming you're the Lamb. He goes, I'm claiming I can reveal the 7 seals. Let me show you. So that's where you got a lot of the controversy. And most of his students were actually, they were going to seminary school. Most of them were furthering their education, and they learned more about David. They learned more about the Bible in just a few hours of studying with David than they had their years of studying at their seminary school. And so they left their schools and came to stay with David. That's why a third of the people were from England and were black. A lot of them were black people going to the seminary schools, learning from David blew their mind. They left. They brought their families with them.
How long was he there at Waco?
He had been there most of the 80s.
Okay.
Yeah, I think early 83 or so, he ended up living on the property and studying under Lois Road.
So what do you think, I mean, what got the government so pissed off at him? I mean, obviously they went in under the guise of he was a threat, he had these weapons, the kids were in danger.
Sure.
Well, that was the basic premise that they laid down as why. But do you have any insight as to maybe another reason, or why would they attack a seemingly innocent
That's what's really an interesting question. And I think most of the survivors would tell you that, all of the survivors would tell you it's directly because of the scripture. They would say because he was revealing the 7 seals, and this was meant to be, and it was written of that this would happen. Since David Koresh was a teenager, he knew the government was coming after him for what he believed in, meaning the scripture. So he's always had that. But the interesting thing is, he would talk about Psalms a lot, like Psalms 1 through 150. And if you read those, he believed that the Psalms were a direct revelation of what was going to happen to him and his group. Now, if you start reading the 150 Psalms with looking at it that way, Waco almost comes alive. They talk about the text. They talk about the people setting themselves against this person, against the anointed of God, and they're going to go in, they're going to kill him, they're going to wipe him out. When did that ever happen? When had the whole world ever been against Christ or against Mashiach or however you want to say it? Well, never. With Jesus, it was just the Romans. So this is talking about another time. It's not talking about Christ 2,000 years ago. It's interesting stuff. Well,
sure.
When I read it, it scares the hell out of me because I see everything come alive. That's hard to describe to people.
Yeah.
But David Koresh told me, we were sitting on a roof and we were doing shingling. We were putting shingles on a roof 6 months before the raid. And he goes, "What are you going to do, Tibbs, when the tanks are running up and down the W Ranch Road?" I go, "David, that's never going to happen. They're not going to be tanks on this property. This is not 93. This had never happened before. The government never used tanks against its citizens." My dad's a history teacher. I couldn't fathom that happening.
Yeah.
6 months later, after the siege, I'm watching tanks. During the siege, I'm watching tanks running up and down the W Ranch Road. I'm just like,
he called
that's
it.
fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts. Yeah.
Same thing with Kathy Short. He goes, "Kathy, what are you going to do when the helicopters buzz in the building?" No way, Dave. They're not going to use helicopters. Come on. Back then, a law enforcement official went to your door, knocked up, and served you a search warrant. They didn't come in shooting with a fucking army. A fucking army.
Right, and didn't they have
You don't attack citizens with an army back then. It didn't happen.
Well, didn't they have plenty of opportunities to take him down when he went into town and stuff? I mean, I could never understand why they went in the way they did and why they just didn't take him down peacefully on the side of the road.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, that just doesn't make any sense.
They didn't want to. They just didn't want to.
They wanted the show?
They wanted the show.
Really?
Listen, they claim that David Koresh didn't leave the building, and that's why when Congress said, "Why didn't you get him outside the building?" Well, he never left the building. We have there's some paperwork out there. I think it's in the congressional report that shows 2 of the undercover ATF agents about 3 or 4 days before the siege went with David to a firing range a mile away from the complex and shot at a firing range with David Koresh. And so not only did he leave, he left with them. And not only did he leave with them, they gave him a gun and let him shoot at a target. They weren't afraid of David. These people, and to say that he never left.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
How dare you?
Yeah,
just how dare you?
What you said you were there a little over a year or something?
Yeah.
What was your personal experience? Did you not the siege, obviously, but what was your experience there? Was it a nice place to be at when you were there?
No, it sucked. Now, here's what I mean by that. Coming into it, when I started learning about the 7 seals and learning what this was, I found out that this group of people that are living in the middle of nowhere, Texas, were something called, or what they believed they were the wave sheaf, the first fruit. They believed that they were, if you will, and I hate to use the military term, but the Marines of God, that we were supposed to go through something called the withering experience. That, in other words, this guy would come, he would reveal the 7 seals. This group of people would go through the 7 seals first, including them dying for their testimony. So it could have gone 2 ways. David always believed we were going to end up in Israel, fighting on the side of God during Armageddon, that we would live through all that. The other side was, if the group couldn't get our crap together, that basically they would be wiped out. So it could have gone either way, which is really interesting. We talked about some of the theologians later on. But to make a long story short, we believe that, or the people there believed that they were first of the first fruit. They were going to be killed for their testimony, be souls on the altar, and then when they came back, they would gather the great multitude, which the 144,000, who then would gather the great multitude, which no man could number. Okay, so like there's a lot of religious groups out there that talk about the 144,000, and some of them claim they're members of the 144,000. Everyone else is going to hell. All you got to do is read the next paragraph and realize the 144,000 gather the great multitude, which no man could number. In other words, God's in the saving business. Just because you go to church doesn't mean you're one of the 144,000 and you're going to be saved and everyone else is going to hell. That's ridiculous. Scripturally, it's ridiculous is what I mean. I say that very specifically. But if you read the scripture, you know, okay, God's in the saving business. So what does all this mean? David believed, and the people there believed, that we would have to go through this time of trouble first, and then the rest of the world would go through it after. Right. Okay, and then the kingdom of God will be set up. David was all about the kingdom of God being set up. On the back of his business card, he had some religious scripture, Ezekiel, Isaiah, I think Amos, Revelation for sure. But all these religious scripture talk about the kingdom to be set up. And according to the scripture, there's going to be a great earthquake. Mount Zion, which is now just a hill in Israel, is going to be raised above all other mountain ranges. And it says God himself will live on the earth and direct everyone's ways from Mount Zion. And all the people of the world during the time of trouble will have a chance to go up and learn from the true God at Mount Zion. So I'm breaking this. These are hour upon hour studies that I'm breaking down in just a few minutes. So
and, you know,
it can sound wacky to people, especially if you don't have any biblical knowledge.
Sure, I was just going to say that our listeners and Chris and I both are not religious people.
Yeah.
We respect, of course, anybody's belief that they want to believe this or that.
Yeah, it's America. You can believe in a fish if you want to.
Of course.
You can make yeah, you can take an eggplant and say, hey, this is America.
Right. Yeah. So it's very interesting, but your experience is unbelievable, and definitely people could check out your book, Waco. And get that on Amazon, or is there anything you're working on now?
It's funny, I usually don't even get scriptural at all. I can't believe I just went into that with you guys. That was a weird thing, because I did not intend any of that, but that's kind of where it ended up. Huh?
How cool was that, man? Got to talk with him.
Talking to David was interesting, man. Definitely one of the things that I never expected I would do.
Right.
Talk to a Waco survivor.
Yeah, that was just really off the wall. So cool of Brian to line him up for that.
Definitely cool,
so that was really awesome. Like I said, if you want to read his book, Waco was the name of the series about it, but the book originally was called A Place Called Waco, but now they've just shortened it to Waco to kind of coincide with the series. Either way, it's by David Thibodeau. David gave us a CD with some more Koresh stuff on it. I checked it out. Some interesting stuff on there, man.
Music.
Some songs that Koresh wrote, some original songs. I'm not sure who else was in the recordings. I'm not sure if David is on these or not. But very religious music, not our kind of thing. But you definitely can't help but appreciate that the guy had some talent. So check this one out. The song is called Shoshanashi.
Shoshana, she's the only one to see. Shoshana, she's the only one for him. Shoshana, she's the only song to sing. Shoshana, she's the only one for him. Shalala.
So pretty mellow stuff there, man.
Definitely some interesting shit.
Yeah. Talented guy. Like I said, it may not be our thing is Murder Metal Mayhem, but pretty interesting stuff.
It seems like it'd be something Koresh should play, honestly. So.
Yeah. Yeah, so we thought you guys would dig that. Now we've got, there were some sermons on the CD. Some of these are really bad quality, so it's hard to really hear them. So I tried to pick something out that sounded decent. So I've got about a minute of one of his sermons. Would have been an early one because he refers to himself as Vernon.
Oh, still Vernon.
So check this out.
This is your friend Vernon from Waco, Texas. And I'm going to be your orator in regards to sharing with you some things that we feel as a body of Christ, we feel very, very important. And I want to remind you, brother, that the things that I'm going to show you are strictly biblical. And we're going to lay some points together from the scriptures which are so dynamic and so unreal that hopefully it'll do for you what it's done for me and for many other people of my own age category. Let me try to attack the issue this way. You'd been to several churches and things just didn't hit you right. Well, remember that today, when we go to church, we're trying to find something. We're trying to find God, the living God. And this is something that it seems like the whole world is taking for granted. I mean, everybody claims to know God, or at least have an experience in God, at least those who are in religion.
Yeah. So there's
interesting,
that.
I mean, we're not theologians here. I didn't really know how much of that stuff you guys wanted to hear, but want to give you a little flavor of some of the stuff that was on the CD.
You could sort of tell by the way he talks how people could be drawn to him as well, too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I know there's a lot of stuff out there on YouTube. I didn't want to just rip something off. I wanted to use the stuff that we got from David Thibodeau.
Definitely, dude.
So
that was given to us for a reason.
Right, exactly. So thanks again to him for doing that. Having all the insight for this topic between my personal experiences to the 93 events in Waco, extensive research over the 25 years, meeting and interviewing David Thibodeau, and getting to listen to that CD he gave us really was instrumental in putting together this very intricate story of David Koresh. Now,
definitely one that's in the record books for real.
Yeah. My research for this episode was done with quite a few resources. I mentioned David's book and the miniseries. I saw a few good documentaries. The opinions, of course, are all over the place.
Yeah.
The one that he mentioned, Rules of Engagement, was good. A lot of details, might be too much for some people.
I watched quite a few freaking different documentaries, actually. Listened to a couple different things, read some stuff.
Yeah, I like the one Inside Waco. That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was, I think, the one where they talked a lot about that Agent Rodriguez that busted that shit open. The Dan Cummins podcast on Koresh was good. Like always, Dan's really funny. Time Suck is the name of the show. But the episode he did on Koresh is worth checking out if you like it. I like the story. There's plenty of things out there. So like with anything, educate yourself, make an informed decision based on what you think.
Yeah, it's just kind of a roundabout way of getting there. Kind of a step in the door to the knowledge.
That's right. Now, Chris, I mean, did you do anything other? I mean, you said you watched some documentaries.
Yeah, I did not watch the multi-part miniseries. I did not get a chance to see that. I wish I would have, though.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I watched it while it was being played. I think I bought it on Amazon Prime, and then each one that came out, I was able to see like the day before or whatever.
Right.
But it was great. Very well done, and that's the one based on David's book. So check it out. Now next week, Chris, since it's Christmas, we're going to be doing a bonus episode.
Yes,
I did a reading of my short story, The Wreath.
That's going to be out for our fucking bonus episode.
That's right. So Christmas Eve day, so it'll be a couple days early. So enjoy it. It's definitely dark and disturbing. The following week, though, we're going to do our 2019 podcast, the final one on Dennis Rader, man.
BTK.
Going to be a good one. We got the interview I did with Dr. Catherine Ramsland to put in there because she wrote a book about him. So it's going to be really cool. Good way to blow out the end of the year with a little BTK.
Definitely.
Now, Chris, any big Shawback plans for the holidays? I know you guys do your Christmas later.
Yeah, we actually like the Shawback with like my aunts and uncles and grandparents and shit. We actually just did that this previous weekend from today. So
okay.
We do it. We always do it like the weekend closest to what would be my grandma's birthday if she was still alive, whatever.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
We did that already, and after
Nice.
that, Christmas Eve will be my mom's side, and then just hanging out with the
Nice.
kids. Nothing major planned.
That's cool. Yeah, we're going to go up to the Quad Cities, up where Jenny's family is, and hang out up there with her brother and nephew and sister-in-law, her parents. So it should be a good time.
Hell yeah.
I think I hear that familiar theme song, man. I think it's
Yes.
CCK.
I think he's on his way.
He's got that fucking Santa hat on, though. CCK
And the
does at
tinsel.
least. Ho, ho, ho. So what are we going to do,
Let's
man?
get our fucking metal on.
Known the world over as the master of metal, the crusher of posers, and Murder Metal Mayhem's knower of all things metal, hailing from Wild Man Street in Danbury, Connecticut, standing at 6 feet of brutal, punishing madness, weighing in at 220 pounds of poser pulverization, the one, the only, toughest bastard on the planet, Chris C.K. Koresh! All right, we got the great metal
Here he
motherfucker.
is, all the way from Wild Man Street.
What's going on, CK?
Not much. Just like with this new way of recording, it sounded so good last week. I'm anxious to do it again.
Hell
yeah,
dude. Fucking
we
A,
got
man.
some compliments. I mentioned it in the intro that last week I mentioned we were going to do something different, but then we didn't talk about what it was that
Yeah,
was
never
different.
explained, so.
So I fucked that all
Oh
up.
yeah,
So-
yeah, you did.
So we did have
It's
some.
okay.
We did have some people though comment and say, "Hey, this fucking sounded really good. What was he doing different?" So what is it, CK, that you're doing over there? What mastery you got going on?
Well, I'm using an iMac, and what I'm doing is I'm using GarageBand to record my track alone,
Right,
as opposed to I'm still hearing you through Messenger,
right, and
But-
we hear you through Messenger.
but my recording is being sent to you through GarageBand as a. So I'm actually recording myself live.
Fuck
Right.
yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
That's awesome, and that's
And-
how
and
you
it-
and I did the interview we did with Felipe Belalcazar that did the Death documentary.
Exactly.
And that's what kind of gave us the idea of like, hey, that's how they do it. That's how Last Podcast on the Left does it with Henry's vocal. So makes
Plus,
sense.
I just got the iMac, so it actually works out really well. And
Shit, yeah, dude.
That's awesome.
the quality is just so much better. When I listened last week, I was so much more satisfied with my calling.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
Yeah, because we're at the mercy of Messenger when we do this. So doing it
Yeah.
this way, we're not. So that's really great. And we are at over an hour and 50 minutes, and we're doing metal. That's kind of scary, but we did it different this week. We did a double murder segment with kind of murder and mayhem thrown into the same one with David Koresh, and now we're doing metal, and it's good to have you on, CK, talking some metal. And what is it that you're going to indulge us with this week, man?
I am going to talk about the German metal band Except.
Nice. And Chris here doesn't know a lot about Accept,
Nope,
so he's
not
kind of
really.
anxious to hear what
Never
you got to
really.
say.
I mean, the thing with Accept was this is one of the bands that I got into, I think it was like 84. So it was one of the few bands I had to actually go back and rediscover their older stuff. But I don't think a lot of people in America knew who Accept was until like 83, 84 anyway, because they were
Right.
virtually unknown in America. I mean, the only metal band that you knew of from Germany at that point was obviously the Scorpions.
Right.
Okay.
and you know, later on, obviously, you had the German thrash, but until then, you really didn't have you didn't really hear too much about German metal, and it was just the Scorpions. As far as I knew, that was the only band. Now, Accept started out in the late '60s with Udo Dirk Schneider and Michael Wagner. I'm not going to go into all the band members because there's just too many, and it's one of those bands where it gets kind of confusing.
Right.
Okay.
But they started with a band called Band X, eventually changed its name to Accept. And like I said, they went through like numerous changes before they even recorded the first note on an album. But for the most part, the original members were, you know, Udo, Wolf Hoffman, Peter Paltes, and Michael Wagner. And they recorded their first album, and which, like again, I said I had no clue they even existed in 1979, the self-titled Accept album. And I don't think the first 3 albums were even available in America until Balls to the Wall, but I could be wrong.
Now, didn't they start singing in German too?
No, they always sang in English.
Okay.
Always sang in English. The first album was in '79. I don't think that did anything particular, anything like great, even in Germany. I don't think it really did anything amazing. The thing with Accept is Udo's voice kind of reminded me of, or reminds you of, kind of a Bon Scott type of vocalist.
Right.
He had that graspy, rough voice. And the funny thing is, the second album was called I'm a Rebel, and the actual title track for that album was actually written for AC/DC, but I guess they never recorded it.
Oh,
No
interesting.
shit. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. So it was given to Accept, and, you know, this is 1980. And again, you know, at least in America, this album was either not released or nobody even knew about it. And even with the third album, Breaker, in '81, you know, I never knew about it. And it wasn't until really Restless and Wild, '82, that they got their footing in America, and they were actually signed with Epic Records, even though that album really didn't go anywhere at the time. And through that time, it was basically the core 3 at that point, which was Udo, Wagner, and Wolf Hoffman. And again, you know, there's numerous lineup changes. Now, I didn't get into this band until '83, which was Balls to the Wall. I think the majority of America never even knew about them until Balls to the Wall album.
Yeah, I think I listened to Balls to the Wall, but then went back. I love Restless and Wild.
Exactly.
But then it wasn't until I think, though, after Balls to the Wall put them on the map that I went backwards and listened to that, because that's probably my favorite of the Udo era Accept albums would be Restless and Wild.
As far as like Balls to the Wall, I vaguely remember Beavis and Butthead, that song being on an episode of Beavis and Butthead.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right.
They were razzing on it and shit. So yeah, I vaguely remember that.
That's just such an unmistakable riff, though, you know?
Right?
That fucking song is so kick-ass, man.
And MTV played the shit out of that song.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when they played metal. And then the same thing, it wasn't until that album that I went back and rediscovered Restless and Wild, and eventually the first 3 albums were put out in America on budget labels. So you could get like the albums for like $3.
Right.
You know, so it was kind of cool to go back and rediscover who they were. I think at that point, you know, when I went back and heard Balls to the Wall, it was Fast as a Shark. That was holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
And many considered the first, you know, one of the first speed metal songs, you know, along with Motorhead Overkill.
Yeah.
It's a pretty damn fast song. Now in '85, they followed up also with one of my favorite albums, Metal Heart.
Oh yeah.
I think that's just a solid album all around. A little bit more commercial than maybe Balls to the Wall and Restless and Wild, but overall a better production. I don't really think they ever really headlined in America. They were always a support band. I don't think even with Metal Heart.
Yeah, because they opened for Maiden, I think, on Metal Heart, because
Yeah.
that was the time I saw them open for Maiden, I think, on Power Slave. And then I saw them do an off show, a headliner show, but in a smaller venue on that tour with Helix, which was kind of funny because everybody was making fun of Helix. But
They were horrible.
they were terrible. But Accept was fucking unbelievable. They played for like 2.5 hours and like threw the fuck down, did like 7 encores. It was crazy. I couldn't
Jesus
believe how long
Christ,
they
dude.
played for.
Unfortunately, that's one band I never saw live was Accept.
Oh, wow.
I wish I did. Obviously, I still have the chance to see them now live.
Yeah.
You know, Russian Roulette was released in '86. A lot of people didn't like that album. I thought it was a good album. It wasn't on the same level as Balls to the Wall, Restless and Wild, and Metal Heart, but it was still a good album. It had a couple, night crunchers on it. TV Wars, it was a really good tune. After that album, Udo got fired. Was fired from Accept. They took a little hiatus. Went through a couple lead singers, came up with this guy named David Reese from America. Released Eat the Heat, which is fucking horrible. It was a bad. To this day, I try to put it on and I can't get into it. It's just really, really a poor album. It was the last that they recorded for Epic. They were dropped after that.
I think the title of it's just kind of terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
And if you look, the cover itself was horrible too. If you ever get a chance, look at the cover. It's bad. It's just a bad album throughout. They broke up after that, or Slash took a hiatus, however you want to look at it. Once Udo was fired from Accept, he went and formed his own band, Udo, which he put out some killer albums at that time. Mean Machine, Animal House was the first album, the Mean Machine, and he put out some albums after that. And in 1992, they decided to, I guess the members decided, we're talking again, and we're talking with Udo, decided to reform. They reformed and they put out 3 really great albums. Objection Overruled in '93, Death Row in '94, and Predator in '96. Again, went back to, Restless and Wild type sound, Balls to the Wall. They weren't signed to a major at that time, and in '93, '94, '96, where metal was at that time.
Wearing flannel
It
shirts.
wasn't popular. Yeah. So, these albums really didn't get any attention as they deserved, but all 3 were really great albums. And again, in, '96, '97, they broke up. Udo left, reformed, went back to his band Udo, his solo band Udo. And, Accept was dormant till really 2009. There was rumors that Wolf Hoffman was gonna reform Accept. Udo went on record saying no. Well, if they do, I'm not gonna be part of it. They have my blessing, but I'm happy doing my own thing with my own band. There was rumors going around that they were jamming with Mark Tanilo from T.T. Quick. T.T. Quick was one of those bands in the early '80s, one of the first bands signed to Megaforce Records, and they put out a couple of albums. And I had the first album. Not that it was anything amazing. It was a good metal album. It wasn't anything to write home about. I wasn't going, oh my God, I'd like to Kill 'Em All by Metallica, but
Right.
they were decent. And they finally put out Blood of the Nations in 2010, and sadly, I just blew it off. I never even listened to it.
Still, you haven't listened to it?
I'll get into that.
Okay. All righty then. Don't
worry.
Oh boy.
I was at work, and one of my employees was a metalhead, and he came to me. He goes, I just realized that you're a metalhead. Somebody told me you love metal. I go, yeah. And we started bullshitting and talking about bands. And we got on Accept, and he goes, did you hear the new Accept? I said, no. I said, you know what? I kind of gave up on him because I know the new singer is from TD Quick. I wasn't too fond of them in the beginning, in the 80s anyway. So the next day, he comes with the CD and goes, here, listen to this. And at that time, I was working in New Rochelle, so I was an hour from home, so I had an hour ride to listen to this album. I got into Danbury, I pulled into FYE, and I bought my own copy.
After you listened to it?
I was on my way home. I was like, holy shit, this album is amazing.
Nice.
And Mark Tennille rips it up. He actually does a fantastic job with these guys. He kind of has kind of a raspy voice like Udo, but he has his own style.
Yeah, I think he's fantastic, man. I was blown away. I didn't know much about. I knew who TT Quick was, but I don't think I ever heard him. And so I was like, who? What the fuck? Why?
Exactly.
Some new guy from New Jersey playing an Accept. It's kind of wild, but he fucking kills it, man.
And what I didn't know was Wolf Hoffman lived in Pennsylvania anyway. So
okay.
When you think about it, it's not too crazy that some guy from New Jersey is jamming with a German metal band. And at this point, the band is the only remaining member is Wolf Hoffman anyway.
Oh, okay. I thought Peter Baltus was playing with them.
He played with them for a while. Then he left. He had issues. I forget what it was, but
I always loved his bass tone. He played.
Yeah, since I think since 2014, 2015, it's been a different band altogether with Wolf Hoffman and Mark Tennille pretty much being the main people since 2009.
Okay.
Blood of Nations, again, a great album. They followed that up in 2012 with Stalingrad, which is even more killer. 2014 with Blind Rage, even a heavier album, and just a couple years ago in 2017, The Rise of Chaos, which is, in my opinion, those four albums are the best that Accept have ever put out, and I put them up against the Udo albums anytime.
No kidding.
I agree, man. They're amazing now, dude.
Even Balls to the Wall. I put any of those four albums up to Balls to the Wall, and there is a couple of live albums with Mark Tennille. Actually, I think they do. There's a live album where they do the whole Balls to the Wall, or Restless and Wild and Balls to the Wall album.
Oh,
it's killer.
Both of them?
I believe it's one or the other. I can't remember.
I think I've heard him do Fast as a Shark before. I know. I've heard live versions of that, which is wicked.
Yeah, he does. He just does an incredible job, and they're still tearing it up as we speak. Yeah, they did. It's called Restless and Live, the Blind Age Live in Europe, 2015, where they do the Restless and Wild album.
Nice.
And just last year, they put out the Symphonic Terror Live at Waco in 2017, where they play with an orchestra, which is friggin' amazing.
Interesting.
So it's one of those bands. They've been around since forever, and sadly, I thought they were done when Mark Tennille joined the band, and the great metal motherfucker was wrong.
Well, you are human, CK. I mean, I know you're.
I can't be right all the time.
That's right. That's funny. Well, that's definitely good to fucking hear about a little bit of Accept, because, like I said, they were a big influence on me as a bass player in the beginning, and just loved jamming that shit.
And the cool thing is, you got two great bands now. You got Udo, which he's putting out great albums, and all his solo stuff is amazing. I don't think he's really had one bad solo album. Well, it's not even a solo. Udo's the name of his band.
Right.
So it's technically it's not a solo thing anymore. It's that's who his band is. And his last album, Steelhammer, is amazing. So if you're new to Accept, I would start with obviously, Restless and Wild and Metal Heart and Balls to the Wall. And then work your way up to the Mark Tenille stuff. And like I said, the Mark Tenille stuff I put up against the Udo stuff anytime. I think it's just as good, if not better.
I agree with you, dude. I like them both, but I think the newer stuff, the production, the songwriting, and the consistency, and it's heavier than some of the stuff on Balls to the Wall and Restless and Wild. Metal Heart is good, but like you said, gets a little shade on the commercial side on some of it.
Yeah, you had a couple songs on those albums which definitely were going for the quote hit, and I'm not even talking about the song Balls to the Wall. There were a couple songs on Balls to the Wall and Metal Heart that were aimed at trying to achieve that.
Oh yeah,
hit.
Yeah.
And, not to take away from the albums.
No.
Like I said, I love both albums.
Yeah, I agree. Well, what you got a lost classic for us here, CK, don't you?
Yes, Atheist Piece of Time. If nobody's heard of Atheist, they came out like in the early 90s. They're a death metal, progressive death metal band. What they basically did is they took what Death started and expounded upon that and really turned into a progressive metal, progressive death metal band. They have 4 albums out, all re-released. They're double albums now for the first 4 albums, but they also have a box set you could get for semi-cheap, I think for like $19. It contains all 4 of the albums, so their stuff is still available. Great band from Florida. If you're into progressive death metal, definitely check them out. All 4 albums are great albums, but Piece of Time is the one that really got me into them.
Yeah, never even heard of them before. Very cool. Very cool. Well, we've talked about the Patreon, Chris and CK. We're trying to get people to sign up to that 666 Club. We got this thing down to $3 a month, man. You get a lot of great bonus stuff, VIP access to the show a day early, the notes to the show, discounts on merch. We got this new book coming out that people are going to want to get in on this shit. So go to patreon.com/Murder Metal Mayhem and sign up for the 666 Club. And if they don't, they're going to have to deal with CCK over there, Chris, and he's got the fucking Santa hat on.
Starting to get pissed off.
He's got the Santa hat on. He's got the garland around his neck.
Bullshit snow.
Yeah, we got a little bullshit snow yesterday, that's for sure.
we got fucking ice storm today. It's fucking ridiculous out there. You can't even move.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that's the worst. Well, we got any national metal stuff, CK? Now, that new Carcass, I played a clip of that earlier. What's going on with that?
Killer.
What's going on? When are they coming out with something new?
I just looked today. They are scheduled to come out with a new album in 2020. It's still to be determined when they're coming out, along with King Diamond. I thought he finished the album.
So did
King
I.
Diamond, but he's only recorded a couple songs.
Oh no shit.
One being obviously The Masquerade, which is the single which they put out I think last month.
Right.
But they're recording now, and it's going to be a 2-part album. So the first part's coming out sometime next year, and then the second part in 2021.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Any other metal release stuff to put out, CK?
New Terrorizer Live album came out. I know that.
Nice.
Obviously, the big one that came out last couple weeks is still
Cattle
Decapitation,
Right.
Death Atlas.
Yeah, we're going to play a clip of that right after we're done with this segment, actually, going into outro.
I mean, you got to check out the last song, Death Atlas. Oh,
I saw that, 9 minutes and something.
9 minutes. It's like an epic song. It's so killer. It's awesome. I'm really digging it.
That's cool. Chris, any local stuff going on?
I got nothing at the moment. No.
I saw Joey Cashman posted some info on his show coming up in May.
Yeah.
But that's obviously a ways off. But that's a good lineup, and we're going to be there at that. That should be cool.
Did you guys hear who's headlining FTA?
Yes, I did.
I did see that. Yeah,
Exodus.
Yeah.
And supposedly, from what I hear, is they're doing the whole Bonded by Blood album in its entirety.
Oh, really? Wow.
Plus other tunes, but
man.
From what I hear, they're doing the whole Bonded by Blood album.
Hell yeah,
that's
dude.
cool.
Yeah,
I did see they were on there, and I was surprised that he announced it so early too. You know, like normally he saves the headliners to very close, but
well, I mean, Gary Holt's about it though, so he's going to be promoting the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And, what's his name? The singer for MOD.
Billy Milano.
Yeah, Billy Milano.
They're playing too.
Yeah, they're playing too, and he's doing a whole fucking. He's like hosting the whole thing and shit. Michael said he's doing. I don't remember what it was. Doing some kind of stand-up thing or too, some kind of spoken word thing or some shit.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly what he said, but I'm definitely looking forward to that shit.
That's awesome, man. Very, very cool. Well, since we did a long murder segment, we're not doing mayhem. So you know, we played a lot of extra stuff in that murder segment with the audio clips and all that. So,
right.
CK, good to have you on a little later in the show, but still talking some metal.
Fucking A, brother.
And you did say you wanted to stick around through that outro, right?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right, we're gonna jam some Cattle Decapitation as we head out and move into the outro. So, see you on the other side.
Are you looking to put a bit of gas into your life? Nothing livens up a party faster than ripping ass for a house full of guests at a dinner party. We can teach you to fart to music in our Master Flatulence course. It's really a gas. Our students can toot away to old school country, fart staccato to some upbeat jazz, or get down and nasty on some wet ass sax to some funky R&B. So, call us today at the Mad Gasser Flatulence Academy in Mattoon, Illinois, and find out what your ass has been missing all these years. Don't let another moment go by without letting your colon do the talking. We can make it happen.
Fuck, man. I lied. I said we were going to do Cattle Decapitation first. We did Accept, which was the song Stampede. I know. We did Stampede a little bit.
Were you all dicked up?
A little bit.
It's double second of murder. Now you're all dicked up.
2 hours and 18 minutes dicked up, man. I'm fucking beat over here.
Shit.
We did it, Accept, Stampede. Then we did the Mad Gasser Flatulence Academy, Chris. And then coming out of that, we did Cattle Decapitation, Bring Back the Plague. So holy shit. We're in the outro now. We had a hell of a fucking show tonight, guys.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
man. Fucking brutal. Got CK still hanging around.
It was a marathon.
Good to have you here with us. Bumper music tonight by Accept, Carcass, and Cattle Decapitation. Of course, CK, your intro music is by who?
Chrysix.
Nice. And our Murder Metal Mayhem intro music, Chris, is by Low 12. That's right. Low 12 going to be in here in a few weeks. It's going to be cool. for that Gacy episode we're going to do in February. That's going to be cool.
I gotta tell you, it's so much. It's great hearing Shaw back doing this shit now.
It is. Yeah, it definitely was nice last week, but this week feels like we're back to like right where we, like it never stopped.
For real.
So check out Spellbound FX and Art.com for their incredible online catalog of silicone body parts, hands, feet, dicks, heads, whatever the fuck you want.
Whatever the fuck you want.
Tony's got fucking aprons, fucking these lamps, which, Chris, we've been staring at this lamp.
God damn, it's
what
so
the
good.
fuck? It's like a psycho's fucking wet dream over here with this shit, man. Unbelievable.
Man, you better hope you don't get the cops called on you at some point.
I know. This Ed Gein inspired artwork is just absolutely amazing. So again, spellboundeffectsandart.com. Also, another friend of ours, the amazing people at Shakers. Book your own ghost tour, seance, or take the Jeffrey Dahmer Cream City Cannibal Tour at Shaker's Cigar Bar in Milwaukee. Chris, we love that fucking place, man.
Can't get enough of it whenever I'm there. I fucking enjoy the shit out of it. It's a good
Such
time.
a cool
Fucking
spot.
Awesome place to hang out, man.
Yeah, it's America's most haunted bar. So go to hangmantours.com and book a tour today.
Get yourself some.
Yeah. Definitely check out our friends at psychokillerbobbleheads.com. Get yourself one of those awesome bobbleheads. They got T-shirts, Christmas gifts. Perfect.
I mean, why not, dude?
Perfect.
Make
I
a
mean,
great
they got
Christmas
these cool
gift.
fucking bobbleheads. We've been showing them off over here. So we're getting spoiled, man. We got Spellbound Effects. We got the Psycho Killer bobbleheads.
Fucking name, man.
We got all kinds of shit on the table. And then I added a new one.
Yeah, we got all Chris Benoit over here raging and shit.
Got a Chris Benoit action figure on the table.
Roid Raging Benoit.
So yeah, so it's pretty cool. So like to just litter the table with just all sorts of stupid shit, and it's a lot of fun. So definitely check out these good sponsors of ours. Thanks to everybody listening. We do appreciate it. We continue to dominate and see how many of you are getting your murder on each week. So it's really cool.
Fucking A, man.
Got some good comments, guys, this week. I don't know, CK, you want to read that first one?
Sure. Billy Timms commented, I love the Motorhead segment last week. Lemmy is God. I have to agree. Lemmy is God.
Yeah, definitely.
I really enjoyed doing that segment last week.
Shit, yeah, it was awesome.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was a good one.
That just made me think of that scene on Airheads, though. Who'd win in a fight, Lemmy or God? God. No, Lemmy. Trick question, asshole. Lemmy is God. Fucking
Chris, what's the next one there, dude?
Ricky Lawless 78 says, thanks for putting together Low 12. I'm sorry, let me start over. Thanks for putting together Low 12 coming in for the episode in the next year. I can't wait to hear you guys talk about John Wayne Gacy. Crawl Space was always my favorite song of yours. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a good time having those rowdy motherfuckers all in here talking. So
yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I haven't seen Travis since the band split. I have seen the other guys, but not a lot.
Right.
So it'll be good to see them all in one place.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time.
It's going to be a good time. So thanks, Ricky, for those kind words about Low 12. Red Sonia, or Sanja, however she says it or he says it. This podcast is fucking amazing. Hails from Australia, mates. So, fuck yeah. Drinking a Foster's over there, maybe. Thank you, Red Sonja. We appreciate that shit. Glad you dig it. And always cool to hear from people from other countries.
Yeah,
Australia, man.
Australia's been around since pretty much the beginning, honestly.
Really,
So,
they
fuck
have, yeah. So, CK, you want to read that last one, dude?
Sure. Derek666 had commented, you guys need to do one on Dahmer.
I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. It's
will.
definitely going to happen. That's a good one to do. But like we keep saying, we like to do the ones that are a little more obscure. That's why when we talked tonight at the beginning, we did this cult killer episode or cult leader episode. You know, we could have done Jim Jones. We could have gone for one of the bigger ones. But we went with Koresh because a little more, not really obscure, but just not maybe the first one that would come to mind.
Right,
so,
right.
so that's kind of what we like to do. But I'm sure we'll do Dahmer eventually. So, don't forget to check out the MurderMetalMayhem.com page. Listen to all the bonus episodes, the bonus content, the episodes. We got 80 of them. This is number 80, guys. It's fucking crazy to think. So, got a lot of content on there, guys, to listen to. If you're new to the show, you definitely want to check it out. Next week, like I said, we're going to be doing a bonus where I'm going to be doing a reading of my short story, The Wreath, which is a Christmas story gone fucking very wrong. So, hopefully, you guys will dig that on Christmas Eve. And then,
What by Wreath?
yeah, really. What by Wreath? And then the week after that, we'll be recording it on the day before New Year's Eve, on the 30th. But it'll air that week of New Year's, and that'll be our final episode of the year on BTK. So
Fucking A, man.
It's going to be badass. And CK, you're going to do a little like 2019 top album type thing.
Top 20 metal albums. See if any of your favorite albums has hit my list.
That's cool.
Of course, my list is the one and only. So
Of course.
Duh. You're not listening to the right shit.
That's right. That's right.
I'm just joking.
I know. No, it'll be fun.
I actually looked up. There was like over 400 and something releases for metal bands.
Oh, wow.
So, to get that down to like not that I have fucking 420 whatever of all those releases. Some are like bands I never even heard of.
Right.
But,
to get this list down to 20 albums, took me a little while, but I think it's a good list.
I'm sure. So go check us out on YouTube. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to be doing some video here coming up soon because we got to get this lamp in on the action. So you're gonna be seeing that. Also, go follow us on Twitter at Get Your Murder On. Like us on Facebook. Talked about that 666 Club. Join the Patreon page, patreon.com/Murder Metal Mayhem. Also, you can go to creationofchaos.com to pick up one of my books. Got a brand new one out now called Creation of Chaos 2, 12 Ways to Make You Die. And artwork there from Joey Gormonger. Don't miss next week. Again, the Christmas stuff. I decided against doing a karaoke song this week for a few reasons. But we thought this would be cool. This is actually another David Koresh song, but this is a little more rock type song. But it's called, ironically, "The Madman Living in Waco." He wrote it about that fucking crazy George Roden fucking
tried to kill
maniac.
him and shit. Yeah.
But of course, the media used it to paint Koresh into singing a song about himself being a madman. So kind of a little more salacious. But anyway, it's not about him, but it's funny that he's singing it. So check it out. And until next time, keep one foot in the gutter.
And your fists jamming your religion down vulnerable people's throats.
In the
Man.